Welcome to Blow Your Brains Out. Everybody like and share this video now. Please subscribe.
Everybody has a million reasons to blow your brains out.
Welcome to Blow Your Brains Out. I am Rick E. Warden. Coming up right now, your host and mine, Dave Jarvis.
Thank you. See, this is proof.
What is happening?
But anyway, welcome to the show. Blow your brains out. This is a special Sunday afternoon edition, and it's part 2 of the Talent Process Retribution podcast. It's technically part 3 because we interviewed Stormborn a good while ago as well. But we had a show this last Wednesday with Lou and Brad and Tony, and they were excellent guests, but we knew that we were missing a special ingredient, the man with the plan. So welcome to the show, Mr. James Randall. I assume you're coming live from your bunker that you're going to use when the bomb...
You already know it, man. No, I'm not going to be eating any crickets in my bunker, though. I'll tell you that much.
Good man. And I see you brought along a crew to repopulate the world with. Who is your friends?
So actually, I brought along the 2 people that really make the movies happen, and the 2 people that have worked the hardest, I would say, on anything we've done. For your audience looking at the screen, to my left is Tim Beard, and he's our audio engineer / everything guy, editor, and he does sound for our podcast and stuff as well. Now I'm trying to put this somewhere where it doesn't block you, but I'm not having any success with that. And then to the right of me, I've got my lady Amanda, and she is our makeup artist / gore specialist /
everything else.
Special effects. I know it's been a minute since we've done the podcast. Make sure you get up on the mic, babe.
Anything else that's needed?
Anything else that's needed. She does scripty, so she supervises, makes sure the actors actually deliver their lines, because that's always a thing. And she also checks for continuity. So if you pick your cigar up in your right hand, you should always pick your cigar up in your right hand. Otherwise, you make editing a nightmare. Actors that might be listening. Cheers.
You don't want to say anybody specific, just in general?
I would say Thomas, but he's just going to do whatever he wants anyway. So
it's his birthday.
It is his birthday. We want to shout out to Thomas Morgan. Happy birthday, brother.
Happy birthday.
He's the other lead actor with Brandon.
Oh, okay. All right. From what I understand, there were some falsities and some flat-out lies from the last show.
I prefer to go with embellishments.
Okay, I didn't realize that there was such tumult on the set of a 6-year-long.
Well,
let's know. Yeah. We were able to get the germ. Where did the idea for the Talent Process Retribution come from?
Actually, so I wrote, this is my very first script. I wrote this script about 7.5, 8 years ago or so. And it didn't, so I used to be a musician. I retired like maybe 5 or 6 years ago or something like that. But I used to be a musician, and the whole reason we make movies is because of me being a musician and what I saw happening with the local music scene and with music in general. Because I'm a huge metalhead. I've been a huge metalhead my whole life. Like, that's still what I listen to. I work as a DJ now, but I don't go home bumping any of that crap that I'm spinning in a club. Believe me, you know, I'm still going home and bumping classics and just straight metal, some local metal like Within Chaos, or sometimes Beard's band stuff for the Human Condition. I'll throw their tracks on. I've been known to go to some dank shows.
Very good.
We support Tex and Creeper. Yeah, you know, just I try to keep up with the local scene as much as I can. I've been out of it for a while, but basically when about 2011-ish, I took a look at what was going on, because people were, listen, I know it's been 13 years since then, but people had the same complaints then that they have now, that people aren't supporting local music. They're not going to the shows. And unlike the other people I was speaking to at the time, everyone wanted to point fingers at the audience, but no one was pointing fingers at the bands themselves. And so I went to some shows to go and see what's going on, right? And I tried to talk to audience members and see what they were thinking. And I kept getting the same response over and over, which is basically that they're bored because everybody's just watching four guys get up on a stage and plug their guitars in and just play music, which to us old school people is fine. You know, we enjoy that. I could watch that all day. But to this younger generation, you know, they've already seen you on their cell phone. Like they've seen your band on YouTube. They've already watched you stand there and stuff. So there's got to be more to it. So I convinced my band that we needed to be more of a production. So we bought TVs and trusses, and we put up TVs on our set that had graphics and different things we put to our videos.
Yeah.
We got a whole light show that we would set up. We eliminated the sound man, which really pissed off a lot of sound guys at clubs because we ran all of our stuff into an interface, and I would just hand an XLR cable to the sound guy and just say, turn that up, because I already had us perfectly mixed and balanced.
Perfect.
Yeah, so the sound guy would just, you know, walk up and plug that cable in, and all he's got to do is go turn his master volume up on the board and not do anything else. We're completely digital. Like, our amps we brought were just for show. We didn't actually plug into them. We stopped doing that after a while because we got lazy. But, you know,
yeah, people want to see gods and monsters at a rock and roll show.
Yeah. They don't want to see four guys they feel like is just in a garage. That just doesn't capture attention anymore. And I'm not trying to make a dig at local bands. I'm trying to help and offer suggestions. Like, if you want a crowd to come see your show, put on a show. And so how that relates to this is I told the guys, look, man, everything's going to video and stuff. Like, I knew stuff like TikTok was on the way. It was already a big deal on Instagram. Everyone was starting to create content. And I said, we need to do that. We need to make our own videos. And so I became our default videographer guy. So I studied as much as I could, and I started making us music videos and funny videos, and people were sharing our stuff. And that's how we used to, you know, when we played, it was generally packed. Like, we could sell a place out pretty easy. And so going from that, I kind of got bit by the bug, man. And I was like, you know, I can tell more story doing film than I can writing a song. And there's so many more people that are better at, you know, crafting a song than I am that gets a point across. Whereas I was like, man, I'm too wordy. I should probably do movies instead. And so my friends were like, man, you could do it. We'll help. I said, all right, I'm going to sit down and write a script. And here we are.
All right. And where did the idea for the story come about?
It came about because basically, as you could tell, there's like powerful people in it. So at the time, you know, the superhero thing was such a craze, and I thought it was a little goofy. Just the writing is generally goofy. I mean, it's like entertainment for kids, really, when you think about it. That's why they're failing right now. Actually, they're leaning a little heavily into their kid audience and not their adult audience. But I wanted to do something different, somewhat within the genre. And the main character in this film is heavy into philosophy. And philosophy was probably the only class I enjoyed in college. So much so that I took several of those classes, and I really enjoyed philosophy in general. So I wanted to put a lot of philosophy in my first film, and so a lot of the script comes out of that. Okay.
And then you added in the mafia types and the giant mustaches, just, you know, where
it's a natural progression, man.
All right.
This makes sense. I will take them more seriously about their art with the bigger their mustache is.
Absolutely.
That's just him in real life, though. Like, that's his mustache.
Yeah, Patrick uses the same mustache everywhere. Like, that is, he didn't do anything special for the film.
So from what I understand, this was a huge odyssey, like a huge undertaking, like 6 years, and several changes as far as people at the helm. So what went down? Did you like find somebody and then they didn't work out, or they stole from you? Or?
Man, everything you can think of happened.
All of the above.
The curse. We
call it the curse.
Yeah, we call it the cursed film because you have to understand, I have filmed 2 entire movies and a season of a TV show in the time it took us to finish this one. So, we call it the cursed film because everything that could happen did happen. And we started this in 2017, and I myself was going to play the main character. So I trained my ass off as a personal trainer and lost 55 pounds to get ripped to play the main character.
Nice.
And we get on set. We did a couple of test shoots, and while I can act, it's not like a passion for me. And it was really hard to direct and act because I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I can do that now, but this was my first movie. I had no clue what I was doing. We were figuring things out and figuring out how to even run a camera properly. And I decided, okay, I'm going to cast him. I cast this guy, ironically. And so we shoot half this movie with this dude. And he ended up accepting a role on some show in Hollywood and straight up left us.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And so, you know, there was that. You know, so
Did his show fail?
Yeah, by the way, he's back in Texas. So.
Well, I don't know if it didn't lead to any better opportunities, I would say. Not that, you know, some indie guys film would, I would imagine, but
still.
Yeah, still. Yeah, no, and you know, he contacted me months later when he came back, and I was just like, dude, I've already moved on because I was pretty pissed off, you know, because we're halfway through the movie. It'd be different if we had a couple scenes shot or something. He's like, look, I've got this opportunity, blah, blah, blah. But no, he just up and jumped, and it cost me money, you know, because we'd spent money making this movie already. Now I got to trash all of it and start over. So it upset me so much that I stopped production on this film. And I wrote an entire new script, and I cast myself and my best friend as the two leads because we knew we were not going to leave and we were going to show up. And that's how we made Project Galaxy, which was our first film to actually release.
Cool.
Yeah, so we stopped shooting this completely for like 2 years while we made Galaxy. And then when we came back, we cast Brandon again, and we cast this new guy, Thomas. And we started shooting, and everything was going great. And then oh, no, wait. No, we started shooting IJU at the same time.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, our second film, we started shooting at the same time because I'd already written it. And then Thomas plays a role in that one, too. So we started on this one. And after the first couple scenes were shot, our makeup artist at the time had a big fight with me because I wouldn't look at her friend to replace Thomas because Thomas ended up getting a job on an oil rig, and he had to move away for 6 months. And so we were considering recasting him. Well, he called me while we're on set finishing the last scene for IJU. And I said, all right, man, let me see what I can do. And I turned to my business partner, Sherman, and I said, hey, man, like, we're losing Thomas right now. We're going to have to recast him. And our makeup artist at the time just got in my face. Like, you got to cast this guy. I got a perfect guy. He knows martial arts, this, and that. And I'm like, look, lady, like, we're finishing the shoot right now. I don't really care to talk about this. And if your guy's any good, I'll have a look at him. Right. But she would not let it drop. And like, I'm one of those guys where my line is already very short, you know, so don't step over that line unless you're ready to catch the full heat. And so I told her, you're crossing my line. Knock off, you know. And she just straight up did like the Bugs Bunny cartoon foot right over the line. And so I let her have it. And unfortunately for us, we were actually shooting part of the film at her house. And so we couldn't do that anymore. Obviously.
So you call Tex. Hey.
Oh, no, we haven't got to Tex yet. So I had to change the script a little bit to explain why he's no longer at that house and at the new house we got for it. And so we waited on Thomas, basically. I start writing the sequel. Thomas comes back. We resume production. We shoot for another year or so. I'm already casting for the sequel. We get to COVID. And so COVID hits and shuts us down again. And obviously no one could do anything. But us, we didn't give a shit. Like, I'll just be frank with you. Like, we don't care. Like, I don't think anybody in this room is vaccinated. We don't give a fuck about COVID. So we went ahead and resumed shooting anyways, because we were shooting at Dead Dog Barn at that time, and Roger didn't care.
Yeah.
So while we had some downtime, we were just all showing up and shooting during this pandemic crap. And
we wore masks and stuff, okay?
No, only for Scott in the sequel. You're getting ahead of yourself.
No, we wore them
That
for
was in
Brandon
21.
too.
Well, we're not here to judge.
Yes.
I don't know about that.
You might not have been there that day, but yes.
Okay. Well, look at y'all doing the right thing when I'm not around.
Hey, Randall's not here. Let's put
It's time. It's time, man. Put the masks on. He's probably watching us from some hidden camera.
Right.
Yeah. So we, COVID kind of took us out again because then Thomas lost his job. Brandon was barely holding on to his job. And so we had to shut down again because Thomas was moving around for work. And at this point, we've shot too much of the movie to back out again. Like, we've got to wait on him. You know what I mean? And so 2021 rolls around and we're like, you know what? Screw it. Like, while we're waiting on Thomas, let's just go and shoot the sequel. I've already got the script finished. So I cast everybody and we shot the entire sequel before we resumed on this one.
Yeah.
We're literally editing the sequel right now. It'll be out later this year, or well, it depends now on when this one comes out. But so Thomas comes back. We start shooting again. This is like 2022 now. We get about 3 months of shooting done, and then Brandon's back just gives out, and he has to have back surgery.
Oh shit.
Oh, dude, they pulled like so many polyps out of his back, and it makes me cringe now watching the film because, you know, Brandon's character goes through some pretty intense training, and Thomas is not known for being gentle with people on set.
If you're not bleeding, he's not doing his job right.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, some of that blood wasn't me. Some of it was real blood.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is not a joke.
Here, I got to throw you through that table again.
Brandon was obsessed with the table thing. But
Brandon threw 36.
Finally, Brandon gets all of his back stuff taken care of, and he's recovering and healing. And we're shooting the other scenes that don't involve him anyways. And that's when I cast the two gentlemen you guys met last week, Tony and Lou, because originally their characters weren't really characters in the script. They were just like Agent 1, Agent 2. They were like goons, you know, like tired goons. Mm-hmm. And when I cast the three guys, I got together with them to have dinner one night at a bar, and we were just having a fucking blast, like cutting up. And, you know, I got to know them. And I was like, you know what? Let's put your characters' personalities in this. So I changed the script again to give them all way more lines and actually have some personality show, which they all did a great job on, I think. Obviously, I know they have to see it to know. But yeah, then finally we got to resume filming. And then what was the last? Did anything? Oh, yeah, Tex.
Well, there was first we lost our choreographer.
Oh, God.
So we had to create our own fight scenes.
I had the I forgot about that. I try not to think about that part. That bothers me so much. I had the number 3 swordsman in all of Texas to design the final katana fight scene. Number 3. And I gave these guys 6 months to learn it, and they never even called each other, let alone got with the choreographer. Yeah. And I mean, I tried my damnedest to get them on the phone, get them together. Oh yeah, we're gonna handle it. We're gonna handle it. 2 weeks before the shoot, they're like, okay, so we just didn't do anything. And I'm like, great, you know, so there goes that cash. And then I had videos of the choreographer sending me stuff, so I incorporated a few things that I got of him that I could. But I mean, you know, you got a couple guys going at each other with real katanas. It's not like safe enough to do stunt stuff if they don't practice it, you know? Yeah. So I had to kind of wing it.
They were like learning it on set.
Yeah.
And then we'd shoot it. And then they'd learn the next part. And then we'd shoot it.
Oh my God. That night took forever.
That's the last time you want to hear, oops.
Yeah.
Yeah. There'll be more of that real blood. Yeah, so that happened, and then, you know, we had the final scenes to shoot, and they're the worst scenes because I had to fly an actor in from Colorado because she's in the sequel, and she has a part to play at the very end. And, you know, I've got 5 guys. No, wait, 6. I have 7 actors on set that I need, plus her, plus the crew. So just trying to, like, I don't know if you guys still throw parties or whatever, but you know how hard it is to get 13 people to show up anywhere, let alone, you know, on time to like shoot something in a place you're renting.
12 just doesn't cut it anymore.
And you gotta be there for 12 hours.
You know about people flaking.
I'm sorry?
As one podcaster to another, we're fully people flaking.
Oh, yeah. I just bet you are. Yeah. So, so we Tex volunteers to help us. Tex has a small role in the sequel, and you know I love the dude
Tex
to death, but Tex is one of those people that's like kind of like goldfishy sometimes. Like he's turning around in his little bowl, like, oh, a new world. Oh, a new world.
He gets in his own way. Let's say that.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, you can use this office, and it's this big, beautiful doctor's office. And even walking in there, I'm like, oh, this isn't gonna end well. I just immediately knew. I was like, Tex, would you steal this place from or something? People. Like, yeah. And he's like, oh no, it's this is where I work. And I was like, oh God. Okay, well, if you got permission, you sure you got? I must have asked him a dozen times. Remember, you sure you got permission? Are you sure you got permission?
Yeah, that's good. Which, to be fair, he did.
Oh man,
the lady he asked
she threw him under the bus so hard. I'm surprised he doesn't have bus tire marks on his face and back.
Yeah, the owner drives by, and it's like Sunday, so there's no reason for cars to be there.
Yeah, we got like 20 cars
and
there.
He pulls in and is like, "Why are all these people in my office?"
Even better, Lou's girlfriend decided that she was just going to be in his office, like with her feet kicked up on his desk. You know, so like it's bad enough that we're all walking around with guns on and stuff.
At least we hadn't started the blood yet.
Yeah, we hadn't started.
The blood yet.
Gunshots. If he'd have walked in with
that
gunshots,
would have been a nightmare. We would have gone to jail.
Yeah. So
somehow Tex kept his job.
Well, you know, so I told Tex, like, look, dude, you know, we're making a real film here, so we're not going to play around on set, because he's all like, come on, smoke with us and stuff. I'm not going to smoke weed with you, man. We're making a movie here. And don't you work here? He's like, it'll be fine.
They know. They don't care.
Yeah. And so he walks out and he starts smoking, and he comes back in because the doctor guy comes running in screaming and raging. Like, who are all these people? And, you know, and so I walk up to him and I'm like, hi, I'm James Randall, filmmaker. And he goes, filmmaker? What are you making? I said, a movie, sir. I was told that, you know, everything is cool. And he goes, well, this is not acceptable. I didn't approve this. And I was like, sorry, you know, you have an employee named blank blank, his real name. I don't know if he uses his real name. So, you know, your employee blank blank said it was okay. I think he's outside. I don't know. We'll go get him. But just so you know, we're all covered. Like, I've got releases signed and I've got insurance. I didn't have insurance. I was totally lying. But I was like, yeah, everything's fine. Nothing's going to go wrong here. Yeah. And yeah, he didn't buy it. And then he goes, Tex happens to walk in at this point, just looking higher and a kite, bro. Like, yeah, his face
like deer in the headlights. Like, oh, this isn't good.
No, very stoned deer in the headlights.
Very stoned. I don't know how he didn't get fired. I guess everyone just loves Tex because he somehow didn't fire him.
Well, he went into. I was there for this, so the
yeah, we were all packing our shit up and putting it in the cars, like trying to get out of there while he's talking to this guy.
I was literally trying to convince him, A, not to fire Tex, and B, let me finish what I'm doing. You know, so it worked out because we had just wrapped one of the 2 scenes we needed to do. And I was able to use the script to explain why the location changed. So again, the script got changed again to explain something stupid. But basically, it was me and Scott. Now, Scott Jameson is the star of the second film, and he has a pretty decent role in this one. He's the older gentleman you'll see in the trailer with the long beard and also a very fun mustache.
Right, yeah.
So Scott is not like me. I'm an asshole. Scott's a very nice person. So Scott's there really trying to explain to Tex's boss why he should not be hitting the unemployment line and why we're actual professional production. And it went a long way with his boss that I was like, look, man, like, our movies come out on Amazon Prime. We're not in here making porn or anything. You know, like, this is not a YouTube prank video or anything. You're not getting punked. There's no Ashton Kutcher here. And he was just, Tex was very, yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, I know. I know I'm stupid, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to lose my shit standing there, like, you know, because I don't want to get him, you know, I don't want to give away that this is ridiculous. You know? And so right then and there, he calls the woman on speakerphone that Tex got permission from. And I got to stand there and listen as she completely, he didn't tell me he was doing any of that.
I didn't know there were going to be that many people there.
Oh, yeah. She threw him so far into the bus. And Tex like, but you said, and she's like, oh, no, sir, I would never approve. A full camera crew, you say? I'm thinking to myself, what did he tell her? Because I'm pretty sure he told her we're making a movie, and that means there's going to be a full camera crew there.
Yeah.
Right? Am I wrong with that?
Dude, the making of this movie should be its own movie.
Oh, man. You know, one day, if this film has ever any level of success, I'm going to do a making of documentary.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'll cast you guys to play some of the people in this. It'll be a lot of fun.
But hopefully.
I think Rick should play Tex.
Okay, this is kind of dark. So our friend Ben Davis was there, and his dad had just passed away. So he got his dad's company, like literally the week before. So he was like, you guys can come use my office. And we were like, yay, Ben's dad died. Like,
Ben's dad looking out, bro.
Yeah, thanks, bro. So we went and destroyed his office with all the blood.
Oh my god!
So many carpet cleaning services had to be done.
Listen. The funny thing, so we all pack up our equipment. Now we've been shooting all day, and we're about to go until
it was my birthday. Let's not forget, this was on my birthday.
Yeah,
and we had to work
Inheritance
all day.
Money's the best.
By the way, so me and her just got engaged last month, and part of the reason that I put a ring on her finger is because I've never met a woman in my life that didn't torture me with her birthday month, because it's never just a day, let alone that volunteered willingly. Like, I didn't even have to ask. She was just like, okay, we can celebrate my birthday later. Let's get this done. I know it's important to you. And after I picked my jaw off the floor, I was like, you know what? I don't care what that shiny rock costs. Someone go get me one of those.
Fucking A.
You know, so yeah, she worked on her birthday for about 20 hours.
Yeah, it was insane. We were up for 24 hours. And then we got back to the house and we stayed up.
Yeah.
Till like, I don't know, 8 in the morning.
Oh God, we stayed up partying at that point, and
after
we died all the next day.
We were like, let's all party.
But then we pack up, we drive across town to Ben's office, which is deep in Garland. And, you know, we get in there, we set up real quick. We're like, all right, we're going to do the scene. And, you know, spoiler alert, someone dies. And so we had this whole thing because home dude gets shot in the head, right? And he's in a closet at the front of the building. And I don't know why no one thought to clear all the company clothes out of that closet.
Oh no!
I don't know why no one.
The squid has never worked that well.
Well,
once.
The curse rears its head again.
We have never had such success with splurting blood on set as we did.
Never we didn't even put plastic down to cover the carpet.
Nothing.
I guess we were too tired to really think straight.
So we
do the take, and we, like she said, we've never had a blood squib go off the way this one fucking went off, like Kill Bill style.
Nice.
Like, it goes off and it sprays.
Yeah.
This massive gore blood mist all inside the closet, all over the company clothes. It goes all over their carpet, right at their front office entranceway, like where customers come in. It's all over the door, all over the ceiling.
Dry erase board.
I mean,
red is the easiest color to get out of carpet material.
Well, I had to make multiple trips to Ben's office there, renting carpet cleaning thing. What is that?
From Home
Doctor
Depot.
Or some crap.
You get the rug doctor.
Yeah,
and take it in there. Yeah.
It took me like 2 or 3 rentals.
Well, because we messed it up again because we had to shoot again, and we got blood on our feet and mud on our feet, and then walked through the back office. So you had to clean that too.
That's neither here nor there.
Dude, this is like an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Now, I just realized that I actually have the end credit scene on my cell phone, and I believe that I can scoot forward and show y'all what that blood splatter looks like, because it's shown very prominently at the beginning of the end credit scene. So let me just screen grab this and send it on to you. Where do you want me to send that? Like Facebook or something?
OutlawVideoTV at Gmail is best, but you can Facebook message it, whichever.
Yeah, it's not going to be the clearest, but yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, since you're already there, you can do that.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Right there, ready.
Crap. Don't do that. That's not what I was after. Okay. So yeah, do you want to tell them the rest about the location with Ben there, Tim? While I'm handling this real quick.
Besides the blood splatter, dirtying up all the other carpets. What else did we end up screwing up in there?
Well, now we don't have. So the curse wasn't done with us, even though we were done with the movie. We don't have any pictures from the premiere.
Hang on a second. It's Outlaw Video TV Live, right?
Just OutlawVideoTV at Gmail.
Okay, copy that.
Now, if you're on Facebook, just send it to the group.
Okay, I can send it to the group real quick. And it's not, it's not like a perfect picture of it, obviously, but you can kind of see if you zoom up into the corner there, like the blood just all over the wall. And this was kind of after it had been cleaned some. But yeah, so in this location, Lou finds out that we're going to throw a chair at him. And he's like, "Oh, cool. So you got like a breakaway chair or something?" And I was like, "No."
No. We made it.
And I was like, "Relax. It's not really a chair. It's a stool. But don't worry. We're going to weaken it." And to
all right, I'm
credit,
ready.
You know, to his credit,
I'm going to go full screen here.
Oh, go for it.
Sorry about that, Randall.
Oh, you're fine.
So you see up on the screen or the top ceiling.
Yeah. Up on the ceiling, you can see how high the blood went. Now, our actor Theo's head's covering the door and the inside of that closet there, but it is just completely bloodstained. Like insanely bloodstained.
That's my kind of movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it looks great on the film too. Like when he gets hit in the head, it's pretty gnarly. But yeah, so Lou doesn't know he's gonna get a chair, or it was a stool thrown at him. We told him we're gonna put him through a table. We ended up doing both. We were supposed to fashion like a WWE style breakaway table, and we didn't. So he literally went through a folding table for real.
No, we made it out of pizza boxes or something. No,
we put pizza boxes on top of it. It was still a table.
Hey, we cushioned it for you.
A little cushion there. The boxes over there.
What
we made it out of. It was breakaway. It wasn't an actual
boxes.
Breakaway-ish.
That Lou's first scene.
And then the stool, I saw the stool, but not where you can see it, so that it would break. But he said it still hurt like fucking cement being thrown at him. You know,
it was a very sturdy stool.
Yeah, well, because I told him, I was like, "Look, I've got 2 of these stools, so if we fuck up the first one, we've got a backup plan. But I don't want to fuck up the first one." So I said, "Brandon, I need you to really throw that stool at him. Lou, are you okay with the stool really being thrown at you?" And he goes, "Well, I know you're not gonna be able to fake throw it at me, so yeah, sure, why not?" Because Lou is just very down for everything. He's the man. Listen, I'm gonna sing Lou's praises later, but Brandon chucks that stool at him like 100 miles an hour, like a Nolan Ryan fastball, and Lou pulls his arm up and just smashes it away. And you can see, like he did a great job covering it on camera. But after that take, he was like, "Motherfucker, that was a real stool shred." Damn, I was like, "Yeah, sorry, you know, yeah, it was real. We got that from like Harbor Freight or something like that."
Was that Lou's first scene?
Nah.
No. That was actually his last.
That was the last one.
Oh,
Save the best
awesome.
for last.
Your farewell will be getting rock bottomed over a real table.
That's exactly the next part. Yeah, and then he had to stick around and wait, and he had to. So I don't know if you guys ever had fake blood in your mouth.
Once or twice.
Disgusting.
So it is
doing this interview.
It is.
It's not pleasant.
Red food coloring, corn syrup, and cornstarch is how I make mine. I mean, not just red food coloring; it's a mixture of food colorings. So it's basically like sugar syrup in your mouth.
Yeah, we don't use that
sugar
crap
syrup
you buy from like the Party Depot or whatever. Like our artist here.
I didn't go to school to buy my blood. You know what I mean?
That's the cool thing about what she does is she will give me 3 different jars of blood.
Yeah, I
and
was
they're
gonna
all
say
for
2 of the jars
things.
that I have now were Lou's because he's a makeup artist too.
Yeah,
and he had them on set, and he was like, "You can just have them," and I'm like, "Don't mind if I do." Add that to my collection.
But she'll literally have like a jar of blood that looks thinnish, like if you're bleeding out of a wound. She'll have a jar of blood that's clogged up, so if you're like scabbed over or something,
coagulated.
There you go. Wow, I didn't know we were talking to educated folk today.
I know
big
one
words
word.
on me. Half. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I was kicked out of my band battalion over fake blood that hit the brand new carpet at the parents' house.
Oh,
I made Thomas throw up.
Should have called me, bro. I got the rug doctoring blood out of carpet down, man.
I had to pour blood into Thomas's mouth while he was laying down, and it like hit like right on his gag reflex.
Yeah. We know Thomas has a gag reflex.
Hey.
He didn't get the lead role for nothing.
He wanted us to cancel this podcast so we could come celebrate his birthday, and we said no, thank you.
Yeah, like, no, bro, we can't do that. No, it's not even our podcast, man. What's wrong with you? But yeah, so Lou had to have a big mouthful of that crap in his mouth laying on the ground. And he's supposed to spit it up, right? And I cannot tell you how hard it is to lay on the ground with a big mouthful of fake blood trying to go down your throat. And you got your throat closed trying to keep it out. But, and you're waiting.
You still have to breathe.
And he's like, he starts humming at me. And he's like looking at me with the big dinner plate eyes, like, call action. And so we're kind of we're kind of having a little fun with him. Like me and Beard are winking back and forth. Like, it's like, all right, sound. And Beard's like, oh, I got to make an adjustment on this knob here. All right, speed. No, wait. And Lucy's like,
Y'all are wrong for that.
yeah, no.
That's why you don't make movies with your friends.
I'll drink to that.
Just let some of that blood bubble up to the surface and we'll call action.
Now, side note, when we were making our first movie, I played a junkie. And I had a scene where I was puking my guts up. That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah.
What do you make that out of?
Oh.
Are you going to talk about the fetus?
This was before she was part of our team, or I even knew her, really.
Yeah, I didn't know them.
And so we had a guy, Jason, that was our makeup artist, and he made me fake puke.
He's awesome.
And we were shooting in 100-degree weather in August outside. Oh, my God. I have a story for why we were doing that. That's somebody to blame for that for sure. So he brings me this water bottle, and it's got the greenest looking, foulest looking shit in it I've ever seen in my life. And it's warm, of course. And he goes, here, it's better if you just don't think about it. And I said, well, what's in this? And he's like, it's better if you just don't think about it.
It's better if you don't think about it.
So I'm already real hesitant now because, you know, like no one just puts strange liquid
I would
in
have
their
made
mouth.
you tasty puke if I'd been
Especially not, you know, that your friend hands you, quote unquote. Oh, bro.
there. You should have made it out of oatmeal, first of all.
Well, it turns out it was a mix of oatmeal and split pea and ham
See,
soup.
you didn't have to do that. You could have colored it.
And cocoa
Oh
powder.
yeah, that is a thing.
So just imagine the flavor
You can put that in blood too to make it
of
thicker.
warm
and darker.
cocoa powder, oatmeal, and split pea and ham soup.
Was it flavored oatmeal or just like
I listen.
plain oatmeal?
Yeah.
Because that would make it,
It was
nastier.
flavored,
if
all
it was
right,
like
like-
apple flavored
Oh,
or something.
So I put it in my mouth. Thankfully, I had waited until we were already rolling cameras and called action because I just edited it out, right? And then I take a big old swig out of this bottle, and I barely could get the bottle thrown out of scene before I was like,
Actually throwing up.
oh,
That
my
was
God.
his
Yeah.
goal, to make you actually throw
Well,
up.
he fucking succeeded. That was the worst thing ever, man. I'm puking my guts up for like a good 10 minutes
twofer.
after that. Terrible. But we digress. Back to the curse, because the curse wasn't done with us.
Nope.
But there's more?
Oh, yeah.
To this day.
Oh, man. It's
To
still...
this day.
You
So
tell.
we finally finished this movie. We're like, hallelujah. We get into editing. We get the damn thing edited. We're very excited. We struggle mightily because I had planned to propose in the film. And so me and Beard had to record my proposal to put at the end of the film for it to be on screen. And this one doesn't leave the house very much.
I like it here.
And she's too smart, so she knows when things are awry and she just sniffs it out, you know? I had to make up the most bullshit excuse to get her to leave the house for like 10 minutes. And we are scrambling, running up here trying to film.
I was getting my nails done. There's no bullshit.
Well,
Like, I went to get my nails done.
well, but I think it was like I gave you cash and was like, "Would you like to get your nails done?" or something like, you know. She's like, "I guess." But
I
she's got the squinty,
would.
surprised eyes going. Like,
You don't pay for this, Norley.
Yeah, what's going on here? And so naturally, that's the day that my business partner Sherman just decides to show up. And so he's ringing the fucking doorbell while we're trying to record this take that we've been blundering through for 10 minutes. And I have no idea when she's gonna come back. I come running downstairs to answer the door, and he goes, "Dude, I just heard you scream, what the fuck?" louder than the other. Like, I heard it out here. And I was like, get inside, grab the dog, sit down, don't say shit, we're filming. And he was like, oh, shit. So he grabs the dog and sits on the couch. He's just, we get up here, then our composer Brad shows up. It was a whole thing. We barely got it done. But we think, okay, that's the end of the curse, because now the film is finished.
Yep.
And we've got our premiere coming. So I go to test the film. Naturally, the projector won't read it. Of course.
Oh, my.
Of course. Right. Now, I've got 3 weeks, which is a damn sight better than our second film that got into AMC theater, which we had to fix in 3 days. So we had 3 weeks to correct this, and I already had a pretty good idea what was wrong. So we go back to watch it. This time I bring my friend Edgar, who is in the film briefly. He gets horribly shit-faced drunk here before we even leave my house. Then we go all the way to AMC in Mesquite, which is an hour from where I live. Then he's getting shit-faced
traffic.
there.
Well, wait, you forget there was a wreck, so it took you 2 hours to get there. And he, as soon as he got in the car, just passed out because he was white girl wasted.
I'm sending her. Yeah, Edgar's like, let's drink more. And I'm like, dude, we're in traffic. Shut up. And I'm sending Amanda all these hate messages because I'm so pissed off because literally the entire highway was shut down. And I had promised AMC I was going to be there at 10:30. And we left at like 8:30, which should have gave us an hour to spare. And we used every minute of that hour. The curse again.
Are you just getting PTSD just telling the story?
I am flashbacking a little bit. Like now I'm worried about shooting the next one a little bit.
He's got me mad at him because I wasn't allowed to come watch it with them because his reason was, I want you to get the full effect when the movie comes out at the premiere, but it was because the proposal was at the end of it and I wasn't allowed to see that. But I didn't know that, right? So I'm just pissed off that I don't get to come with them.
Yeah. Instead, I've got our lead female actress, and she's like, "Oh, I guess you're going on a date with her."
Yeah, you go with her. That's
like,
cool. Whatever.
Oh my God, so we get to premiere night. Now we think, okay, nothing else could possibly fucking go wrong. The curse is broken. The movie's done. We're gonna sell it and do all the things.
Are we talking about this?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's the last pit of the curse.
No,
so,
there's another one.
Oh God, there's more.
Yeah.
See, I've brocked it out with the PTSD at this point. So we get to the premiere. We've hired her friend to be our photographer.
Okay, so we're not talking about what I thought you were going to talk about.
Okay, bring that up after. Her friend's a pro photographer. She's really good. So I was like excited because she was like, yeah, you know, as a gift, I hired my friend. She's going to come and take our pictures on the carpet and stuff.
Which she did for our last movie. And she did a great job.
Yeah, great job. So she comes. We've got so many people there. We're taking pictures like crazy. The theater is like packed out, you know. We got our banner up. Everyone's like forming a line to watch because they just don't know.
We're
what
all
the
in like
hell's
full
going on, you know?
formal dresses and suits and
dude,
stuff.
People
It was
up
awesome.
in ball gowns and suits. And stuff. Like, it was a full on
red carpet.
Damn right. She takes all the pictures and then her memory card corrupted, and we don't have a single picture.
None.
Oh.
No pictures at all, except what people took with their phones, which isn't much because we had a professional photographer.
Yeah.
So nobody was going to take pictures
and not taking them. Yeah.
Ooh, I am hot about that.
Yeah, she's definitely going to give you your money back. But I got her memory card from her, and I'm a wizard at this stuff, and I can't get them to come out. Like, they are gone forever.
Maybe somebody down there doesn't want you to release this movie.
I mean, you know,
down there.
And that's the other thing. We still haven't released it yet because we're like fighting with, are we going to use a distributor? Are we just going to do it? Like, we can't make up our minds.
Do know that there's a movie that's been in production hell for over 30 years because every time they cast a lead actor, they die. It was Belushi and Chris Farley and John Candy, like a whole series of fat guys. And this, so
maybe don't use a fat guy.
To catch somebody in shape. Yeah,
but that's either here nor.
That would be then you cast the vegan CrossFitter and he somehow falls off
he
a
has
mountain.
some crazy like rare health. I don't think fat suits are PC anymore.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry. Morbidly obese.
Well,
so dude, this movie is basically like Apocalypse Now. Are you going to be like selling wine in like 3 years?
Man, I often think that this movie is why I lost my hair. To be honest, I don't think it's genes or age. I'm pretty sure it was just this film.
I never saw you.
I did collect a bunch of like, you know, that gamer girl that was selling her bathwater. Well, every night when I came home and cried, I would collect my tears.
Just
and
in
so
case.
I figure I'll sell crystal vases full of my tears to water your plants with. Good at growing black roses and stuff, you know.
Beautiful.
I feel so much
I'll
better
take some as soon as the movie hits critical mass.
There we go. Yeah, we can do what we always do and put it out on Amazon Prime and on Tubi and Plex and stuff because I have deals with all of them. But we're trying to aim a little higher this time around, and we've got worldwide distributors that are messaging me and they want to talk and see the film and stuff. So we actually have a website for it with an EPK that's got a synopsis and all that garbage that you send off to these people because they need all this stuff, man. Screenshots, bios, your IMDb pages, what's your star meter rating, like all this nonsense, the trailers and stuff. Then they check it out and then they come and make offers. So that's the stage we're at. because we were just going to go ahead. It was supposed to be out by now.
Yeah.
On Prime, but we might be able to get a better deal through them because, and this will come as no shock to you guys because you're musicians, but when you're an independent guy on Spotify, they pay you crap. When you're a label on Spotify, you get paid like 2 or 3 times as much. Well, the same happens in film. So even though I have a deal with Amazon, they're going to pay me pennies compared to what they would pay an actual distributor or studio. So even though they would be taking a cut from us, they would get us a bigger number overall. If that makes sense.
Yeah, adds up.
Yeah, and shit, onward and upward, my brother.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Top me up.
Yeah.
So we had Tony and Lou and Brad on. You know, we asked them a bunch of questions. Lou was pretty much the main speaker, but I was wondering, how was Tony working with you?
Oh, he is so awesome and like excited to be a part of this that I don't know, man. I think he did great, and I just like Tony. He's a nice guy. Yeah,
I love Tony, man. He moved here from like I think Arizona or something a couple years ago, so he hasn't really got a chance to make a lot of friends. And the industry that he works in is, you know,
not conducive to friendships.
Yeah, you don't meet a lot of quality people in there, let's just say. But you know, when he approached me and we became friends, he was always talking about how he loves movies and always wanted to write one and this and that.
Which he did. He has started writing his scripts.
Yeah, he texted me about that the other day. We might actually go do lunch tomorrow, and because I need to get back to writing myself. I've been on vacation for a month because of the trauma. See, I'm a therapist. But yeah, no, Tony is he's great, but he's one of those guys where it's like if he knows you, then he has no problem talking to you. But if he's on camera or doesn't know you, then he gets a little stutter going because he gets a little nervous or something. I don't know what it is. But once he got on camera and started getting comfortable, man, talk about knocking it out of the park. I was pleasantly surprised.
I didn't know he could play such a badass.
Yeah.
You know, because I know sweet little Tony.
Yeah.
And then he gets on
and he gets on the big screen and
kick his ass. Like, okay.
The way he carried himself is so good. You can tell he's in charge and like powerful and not to be fucked with, you know. That's why he makes it longer than anyone else.
That's true.
That's for Tony.
Praise is enough.
He's a professional.
He's a professional. That's exactly
all he does. 24 hours a day, 8 days a week. Like,
but
he's
not
never
one of those
stops.
like annoying, stuck-up professionals. Like he'll crack a joke with you, but then he'll get back to business, which I appreciate. I don't like all business people. Like people that are all business all the time are really annoying. And you know, the set's already stressful enough, and everything's happening at a hectic pace. Because like if I rent a gas station and it's costing me $1,000 an hour, I'm not trying to waste 10 minutes in that place. I'm trying to get as much as I can get done because it's expensive. Efficiency. And so like, yeah, so like it gets pretty hectic on set, and having people that will joke with everybody else and keep the mood light is really important.
While you're all business.
Yeah, well, I'm being the all business guy.
And he always brings his wonderful girlfrishe with him.
Who's also a makeup artist.
She is also a makeup artist. She's worked on Supernatural and stuff, which when she told me that, I was like, stop it. I'm watching that right now. Like I freaked out. But she's awesome, very supportive, and
I like what I like about Lou is that he pays attention. Because a lot of people have misconceptions about what being an actor actually is, and a lot of people think that if you can deliver lines and make faces, then you're an actor, and that's not all there is to it. Like how we all like rag on bass players, even though we all know they do way more than what we make fun of them for. But it's the same for being an actor. If you're any good, you're paying attention to so many different things. Like a really good actor can look at what lens you're using on a camera and know what their range of motion is. They know how much they're being looked at. They know if it's a tight shot or a far away shot, or, a good actor always picks up their cup with the same hand. You know what I'm saying? Like every take, right. So you're not staring at something weird. A good actor even knows what line they finish before they take a sip of their coffee. And it's repetition. They do it the same way every time. A good actor is in character even when they're not on camera, so that their co-actors can actually
something Brandon's very good at.
Yeah.
Brandon, it doesn't matter if he's interacting in the scene or not.
Right.
He does not stop being character until you say cut.
Yeah.
Which is very impressive.
And so, all that's really important. And I used to think before I started making movies, I used to think that there was no such thing as a dumb question. Man, was I wrong. Okay, like, and I'll give a piece of advice to actors. As a general rule of thumb, there are no dumb questions until we're on set. And then everything you ask me is a dumb question because
Good
everything
point.
should have been asked before we got on set. Especially if I've taken the time to meet with you, describe the scene, you've got my number, you've got the script, you got everything. To me, if you show up on set and you've had the script and you've had time to ask me any questions you needed to ask, you start asking questions, then they're all dumb questions to me. Because now you're wasting shoot time, which costs. Well, you could waste my personal time, which costs nothing. Except
It
pieces
just
of my
costs
soul.
my patience.
Except pieces of my soul. Yes, I was going to go there. But that's what I love about Lou is that he's very, very to the point, dedicated. He pays attention. He knows what he's doing, and he made everything a lot easier for everyone. In fact, I intend to cast Lou in my next film in a much larger role.
That's good.
How about some hand clap for Lou Morris in a much larger role? Love hearing
Now, I'll let out this little slip of information that I haven't told anybody except Tim and Sherman, but I'm hoping to get Lou and Billy Blair to be leads for me in a film I want to remake because we're thinking about remaking our original film. It's not available anywhere, and we had a stalker situation over it, so we just kind of ditched it altogether, you know. So we're thinking about redoing it with them in the lead instead of me and Sherm, so we can actually
Sounds
do our
great.
jobs. Yeah.
Did the stalker situation resolve itself, or is it still ongoing?
He actually pops his head up every now and
Anyway,
again.
if you need puke for the remake, you know, I'll make tastier.
It ain't going to my
puke.
mouth, so I don't
I'll
give a
make
damn.
tastier puke, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Worse.
Oh,
We'll keep it in a cooler so it's not baking.
Hey.
You know?
Oh yeah, you know what?
That's your stalker cue. Anybody paying attention?
Here's another piece of advice for actors that I guarantee you guys would never guess what I'm about to have to say is actually true. And you would never guess that someone would be the type of person to do this. But actors, if you're shooting a film, don't get a fucking nose job in the middle of shooting the film.
I couldn't even tell. Like, I watched the movie. I couldn't tell that she got a nose job.
That's because we covered it.
Yeah, they made her get punched in the face.
I wrote into the script that my character punches her in the face.
Because he was so angry in real life that...
So we could have a bandage over her nose for the rest of the film so you can't tell. But
it's a fucking David Zucker movie here.
We had to, we were supposed to wrap in May. That was supposed to be it. But we added extra months for her to recover from her surgery, and it pushed our shoot to the dead of August. So now we're all out there outside in the dead of August for 12 hours, like running SUVs so we can have air conditioning. Actors are dying. My friend Patrick plays an Army general. He's in a legitimate 5-star Army general suit. I mean, full-on warm wool. Like, he wouldn't take it off because he's like, you'll never get me back in it.
That's the real reason he hates summer. You know, you traumatized him, and now he pretends.
And we made the mistake
of
sending him to a gas station for water with one of the other guys. And he's standing around a gas station. These two guys walk up. Stolen valor! You're not a fucking 5-star general. And they're like screaming at him. He's like, whoa, I'm just an actor. I'm just an actor. Relax. And like,
wow.
Oh, poor Tag.
I know, right?
I think I saw that post on Facebook.
Oh, that was real. That was very real. We've had so much crazy crap happening while we're doing this, like the Asian gangster thing. That was wild too. Oh man.
Yeah, we got a little snippet of that on the last show.
Yeah, we used to own a. Are you guys familiar with what is that? Jim Miller and Highway 30?
Yep.
Over in Dallas,
east side of Dallas.
Yeah, so we had there's a shopping mall in there, and we used to run a recording studio out of there. It was me and Ben and Sherman had a recording / film studio there. We did our podcast out of it. We did weddings and all kinds of crap out of it. Well, when I let the lease go, because we were done doing that, one night, me and Brandon, we needed to shoot a scene where his character is in an alleyway. I couldn't get any crew to go with us. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I can do this all by myself. It's just one scene. It's one actor. We're in an alley I know very well because I ran a studio out of there for 4 years. And we'll just go outside in the back where the door that leads to the studio is, and we'll shoot there. And so we go out. It's just me and the camera. and Brandon, and we're shooting, and we had just about wrapped. I wanted to get like one extra take or something, when suddenly the door flies open, and the shortest Asian dude I've ever seen walks out with a gun. And I mean, it's like a gold-plated gun, so I thought it was fake at first. He walks out. He's got his really, really tall and really fat, like, gangster friend with him who's also Asian.
Total Asian gangster here.
Yeah, straight up Asian gangsters. And, like, I know some real Asian gangsters, so looking back on it, I'm like, damn, I should have just walked away right there. But I'm kind of a confrontational asshole, so they come out and they start yelling at us. I'm like, oh, who the fuck are you guys? They're like, who the fuck are you? And I said, well, I'm a filmmaker, and we're shooting a scene. He's like, you're not fucking shooting a scene here. No, you're not. Why are you over here? Why are you behind our studio and shit? And I was like, oh, cool. Like that door, that's the studio I used to rent last year. And he goes, well, ain't your turf now, cuh. You get the fuck out of here.
Leave your turf.
I'm like, bro, we're making a movie. And I like waved the camera at him. I was like, this is just a student film. You know, like I have to do it for school. And he was like, well, you ain't going to make it to school tomorrow if you don't get to stepping. And so Brandon grabs me and he goes, bro, let's walk away. I have a family.
Please don't he has like 5 children, right?
Yeah.
He's like, please don't get me killed. Yeah. My wife will bring me back and kill me if you get me killed.
So Brandon wants to walk. I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm a little crazy. So I was kind of curious. Like, is this guy actually going to shoot me? What's up?
With that gold-plated gun?
And so I wonder,
whatever, you know.
Wonder what being shot feels
so
like.
I'm kind of jawing. You know, like I start walking. Brandon starts walking. He's like, I ain't fucking him out. And he's walking towards the car. So I start walking behind Brandon, but I'm turning around, like I'm facing these guys, walking backwards, like jawing at him and shit. Like, y'all ain't gonna do shit. What the fuck is this? You know? And Brandon's like, James, shut up. James, shut the fuck up, man. James, shut up. And he's like, yeah, you better listen to your friend and shut up. And like, oh, man, this little bastard is pushing my fucking buttons, man. But he did have a gun, so you know,
and you didn't for some godforsaken reason in an alley at nighttime.
Yeah, isn't that weird? I usually carry.
I know, that's very weird.
It's weird. I don't know. I was being stupid, I guess.
Might have been part of what saved your ass.
Yeah,
it could have been a gunfire.
Yeah, because if I'd have drawn, I'm sure he would have fired. And then you know, me drawing versus him already having his gun
holding
out, a disadvantage there.
30-pound camera trying to.
Now I don't think he would have hit me because he was doing the gangster gun thing, like you know. So he probably would have shot some kid at McDonald's or something. You know,
oh no!
Before he hit me, but still. So, yeah, we walked back to the car, and as we're walking, they were like, "Yeah, that's what we thought." And shit, I hate that so much. Man.
I know.
I was like, if you didn't have that gun on me, I'd have stomped that little dude into the ground. I mean, the dude looked like Hugh Grant as a. I
feel like if it would have just been you would have died because Brandon wouldn't have been there. Being like, I don't want to die tonight. Let's go, and then I never would have met you, and we wouldn't be here doing this podcast.
Anyways, if you're that little Chinese gangster listening, then you can still get it. You know, leave the gun at home. Let's do this.
Yes, our Chinese gangster contingency is definitely listening.
Are y'all popular over there in the?
Leave your gun and your big friend at home.
Are y'all popular in the turf?
Turf.
It's mostly Koreans, the North ones.
Filipinos and Australians.
I wouldn't mess with the Koreans, man, especially if they're on a rooftop. You're asking for it. Then you're not going to win that one. Yeah.
I was wondering, did Brad give you any difficulty on set or after the fact?
Well, Brad wasn't on set ever.
Yeah, he actually came in at the 11th hour because we had a different composer who just ghosted us.
Mm-hmm.
So fortunately, Brad had been up in his inbox being like, yo, man, if you need to, like, I really want to do a soundtrack for a movie. So, like, I'll do it. So when this guy ghosted us, James was like, okay, I guess I'll give him a chance. Like, I don't know anything about him, but.
Right.
And you'd say that he was talking about saving our ass, and he kind of did.
Yeah, no. Well, yeah.
Because we had lost our composer.
It's hard to have a movie without a score.
Oh, man, believe me, it's such a crucial aspect. And so Brad, yeah, like she said, Brad was in my inbox a lot talking about he wanted to do a score. And I went back to my original composer. My original composer did my first 2 movies, is fantastic. Like, he is amazing. But the problem is, after the first 2 movies, he was getting Hollywood level work. So he raised his price past what I was willing to pay.
Yeah.
You know, so I couldn't afford, and it was sad because our last convo, he was literally like, "You can't afford me anymore, James. I'm sorry." And I'm like, "Well, what's the number though? Like, tell me the number."
But
And
you're
he's like,
my friend.
I was like, "Tell me the number. I might take a loan out or something. I think you're worth it. Like, let me know what the number is." He wouldn't even tell me the number.
Oh,
Yeah, he was like, "Trust me, you can't afford me." And I was just like, "Damn, that's a little fucked up, bro. You don't know that, but okay, whatever. I guess you just don't want to work with us." And actually, Scott reached out to him and found out the number. I found out the number 4 years later. Yeah, and I could afford him, motherfucker. Now, would I have paid that? No. Could I? Sure. Would I? No. So, I mean, I guess he was right.
are you going to tell us the number?
For the record, in
I'll
your
tell you off camera.
face, could have afforded you. Didn't want it.
No, should I just say it wasn't that much?
Hey,
$6
now
grand.
David Jarvis is going to be all up in your DMs.
Yeah, he wanted $6 grand.
Yeah, you could have afforded that.
I know.
I thought it was going to be something crazy,
That's
like
what
20.
I thought he was. I thought he was gonna hit me with that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going
But
to pay 20.
do keep in mind
we're
that I don't know
very
if-
indie.
I don't know if he's still at the level he was then.
Okay.
That was 4 years ago.
Okay.
So maybe he's like needs work and lower his
Struggling.
price or something.
Okay, yeah,
it
that
could be.
That could be.
That's
it.
how it is with creatives. Like you never know, dude. Your fortune
How-
rises and falls.
I know. I'm changing careers, and I'm so
Mhm.
stressed out because it's going to be.
You're gonna be great.
How much were you asking at first that you could when you could afford him?
He did my first soundtrack for $1,500.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and then I got a raise. I gave him a raise after that, so he was over $2,000 after that. And that's dirt cheap for a composer.
Yeah.
You know, like dirt cheap. But he was also trying to make a name for himself, and I was like very honest, like, look, this is what I have. So if you can take that, and you know, it got him a lot of work, so it worked out for him. And sometimes you have to make that trade.
Put that on your resume.
Sometimes you don't. You know, a lot of people will do free work to try to get more work in the future. I generally don't like that though. Like we pay our people at least something because nobody wants to work for free. But at the same time, you got to be realistic. Like if you've never acted before, you can't come up to me and be like, I want $400 to do a scene because I'll tell you to fuck yourself.
Well, after the massive success of the talent process Retribution, and you're making multiple movies, then you can hire David Jarvis. He wouldn't want to compete with Brad or anything. He can definitely score a fucking movie as good as anyone.
Awesome.
That would be cool, man. Like you should send me a sample, seriously.
No, Brad did pretty good though.
No, I do intend to work with him, but the next film is more Scott's call than mine.
Oh,
So he's got to impress Scott, not me. He's already impressed me.
so he did pretty good.
Brad
There were
sent me
a couple tracks that were like, you gotta fix this and stuff, but that's the whole part of
Yeah,
the creative
so
process.
I heard him
so
crying on his little interview with you guys, talking about, oh man, James didn't want to use my track. Like I heard him.
You're
We
like,
kind of
"It's my
brought the
movie."
best out of him.
The
And
reality
we kind of
is,
brought the
you
best
know,
out of him. so.
Yeah. The reality is, I did have 2 spots in the movie that I did not think he understood at all what the fuck I was looking for. And so what ended up happening was when it came to 0 hour and we're out of time, I had to give him a 48-hour deadline to get some things fixed. I very carefully said, hey, this track to my ears, and mind you, I'm a musician too, so you can't bullshit me and be like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I play 7 instruments. I was first year percussion in college. Like, don't tell me I don't know music. So the end scene is the most powerful scene in the film, and it's got to send off the audience right. And I liked his concept. I didn't like his execution. And so I just told him, hey, just try removing this note, this note, and this note from the build of the composition because I think it won't sound good. They sound off to me to the vibe that the rest of the song is giving. And he was like, no, I can't do that. That's going to totally blah, 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 blah. Well, he did, and it's perfect. And it was literally what was throwing it off. He just had some extra notes in there that were, and so I told him, I was like, dude, the best thing you can do is relax and stop trying to compose a fucking song. This is a soundtrack. Like maybe 2 piano notes is all this scene needs and not a full fucking Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
I do like the nod to Superman that he gave you.
Oh, that's what made
That
me
was
fall in love with the
awesome.
soundtrack. Yeah. Oh, man. One of my favorite soundtrack songs of all time is Flight from the Man of Steel soundtrack. If you haven't checked it out, check it out after the podcast. Listen to the whole thing. It starts off slow, but it really builds into this epic crescendo. And basically, like, Brad snuck in at a spot in the film, the opening notes from that, and it was like I was like,
Yeah, I heard it too.
You got me,
because
you
you
son of a
sleep to
bitch.
that soundtrack. So I've heard the
Yeah.
song so many times that when that scene started, I was like,
So wait a minute.
Wait a minute. I know this.
He did a great job of turning it into what it is. But,
yeah, it was good.
But yeah, unfortunately for him, some of the stuff just didn't match. And it was not because his concept was bad. It was because it was too cluttered. You know what I mean? Like if a song is trying to do too much, then it loses sight of what it's trying to convey. And for a regular song track, like for a band playing a track, that's okay because you're trying to convey everything with audio. But if you're trying to convey things with visuals too, you can't be too busy because then the visuals, like it takes away from that. It's distracting.
Yeah. I got that.
He came through.
Yeah. And you know who else came through? Beard over here was doing sound every single night because we all live in the same house, right?
This is a good story.
So we have the surround sound set up, and I'm an old lady, and I like to be in bed by 9 p.m. That's just who I am as a person. And I can just hear like Thomas and Brandon screaming upstairs. And I'm like, oh, Beard's working again. Like every night for like a month straight.
And like the thumps and bangs and, and gunshots and
just a half.
So Beard here,
Okay.
you are the excuse me, you are the audio engineer of the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
all the soundtracks you hear him, like, oh my gosh, there was this one scene in the beginning that because we watched all of like the raw footage and everything, was so horrifying. And I was like, how are y'all gonna fix this? And then you see the final product and it sounds like an actual conversation. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Beard did that?
Yeah.
Like, how did he do that?
Straight up wizard over here. He's our Gandalf, man.
He shows up when needed, you know?
Yeah, he arrives. Unlike Brad, he arrives precisely when he means to. I'm just giving Brad shit now just because.
Yeah.
We love Brad.
Absolutely.
I'm going to finish on Brad real quick because he did get thrown under the bus a little bit with that last-minute deadline. But I had to do what I had to do because it had to be right. But he was insistent he could fix it, and he did a complete new track from scratch for a scene in 48 hours and had it to me. And that's impressive. Let me tell you, like that is hard to do.
Yeah, it's a hard worker right there.
I literally said, I don't like this track at all. I don't even think it's salvageable. There ain't no deleting some notes to save this one. I just don't like it. I think it sucks. Here's why I think it sucks. I'm very blunt.
This is how he talks. Yeah.
I think it sucks because of blank.
Appreciate
and then
that.
I was like, I think you should do this, and instead, if you can do something like that. And he goes, you just gave me an idea. How much time do I have? And I said, you have 48 hours starting now. You better drive home fast. And so he goes home and he is like on it like a rabid Wolverine, dude. And he starts sending me little tests. And I was like, dude, this sounds pretty good. What is this? He's like, this is my new idea. I'm going to go with it. He's like, all right, well, you got, 24 hours now. So you better get it over. Sure enough, like about an hour before deadline, he sends me a track. And I was like, bro.
Yep. There it is.
I was like, bro, that's the one. Why didn't you send me that to begin with? But of course, it's not like your composer's in your head or anything.
Yeah.
And I want to just reiterate, this was his first soundtrack ever. And the thing is, not only was he impressive for even being able to do one for his first time ever, but leaving the premiere, people talked the most about his soundtrack.
No shit.
All the fucking praise, man.
Everyone liked the music, no matter, like, my family was there and they're like, it's not my kind of movie. But, like, the effects were cool and the music was cool and the acting was good. They just don't like thrillers, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Brad, he definitely surprised me, especially like during the premiere when I actually heard it when we tested it in the theater. Because Joe with them, there were some spots where I didn't like. I'm like, I'm just following instructions and mixing to my best. Here, doing like dipping where I feel like it needs work here and there. Also, shout out to Sherm because he kind of he did a little bit of. He gave me some ideas on where and when to do certain things, and I was like, that's a good idea, and then I just kind of like tweaked them. But it wasn't until I was literally sitting in the theater, I was like, oh, okay, because like I'm locked in the room, so I'm just hearing like everything else. I'm psychoanalyzing every nuance, But it wasn't until like I was sitting in theater and I was like, oh, this actually works. This is good. This is actually good.
This is where we get to brag on Beard, because this film is the first one where he figured out how to do 5.1 surround for Dolby theaters. Like, that's a big deal, because our other movies don't have that. It's just regular sound, you know? And so when you're sitting in theater and you can hear birds chirping over here instead of like all through the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the music just fills the room like you're in an orchestra for real. He didn't know because he couldn't make it to any of the tests. So premiere night was his first night to actually see if it worked. And I kept telling him, like, bro, it
that
works.
night with you and Edgar.
No. Did you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Oh.
Y'all left me home alone.
Oh, I was so focused on making sure that Edgar didn't throw up in my car.
The cool thing about like doing these small indie kind of projects is it is so like collaborative with everybody. Because when we do editing, we get like any actor that wants to come, and we got our sound guy, we got me, we obviously have the director there, and we all like pitch in on ways that you can make it better, which I don't think they do that in Hollywood. You know, they just have one guy doing that.
Well, they have
but we all do it
they
together.
They definitely don't bring in their actors and stuff like that. Like,
it's usually just like whoever engineer and then the director maybe
right.
Yeah. Can you imagine when you have to submit something to a focus group?
Oh, yeah.
We are the focus group.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
That's exactly how it is, man. Like, well, so for me, I've long in my life been I'm not like, I'll talk about shit, sure, but I fully believe don't talk about it, show them. Yeah. You know, because showing them is so much more important. Like just the other day, I had the actor that's going to be the lead in my next film come over to my house, and I was like, come into my bedroom where I've got this banging ass TV, huge TV, 5.1 surround, pull up a chair. I'm going to show you some of this film. So you know exactly. Well, I actually cracked that joke. I said, so you know it's standard that, you know, every film director is going to ask you into their bedroom before you get cast for a lead role. Oh, he had a chuckle out of that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you know I did.
Or jacuzzi.
At least I was at work. He would have been like, oh, are we doing this?
No. But I showed him the first 45 minutes or so, and he was blown away. He's like, wow, this is like quality. This looks like actual film stuff. And I was like, yeah, I want you to see what we do and involve yourself as much as you want. Because ultimately, if I sit here and I make movies for me, then only I'm going to like them. I mean, you have to have your vision and stuff, but you need other people to come in and be like, here's what I like to see in movies. And that just improves what you're doing. I'm not saying you have to like listen to everybody's harebrained ideas or implement them, but at least give it a listen and see what they're talking about, because movies are made for audiences and not for one person.
Like at one point, Scott was just, you know, our lead actor. And now he's like in charge of our relations with companies and stuff. Like he's doing distribution. I technically was just hired to act, and now I'm your lead makeup artist and fiance. Well, you know, slept my way to the top.
Wow.
Hey, is there any more room in that bedroom?
No, when we first started dating, I was like, look, if we're going to be working on movies together, I don't think we should date because people are going to say bad things about me. And then we were like, you know what? Screw it. Say whatever you want. I'm going to prove my worth.
No, like, I wanted to cast her for the sequel to this movie. So she hasn't even been anything really.
Yeah.
Other than Funny Money, that brief.
Yeah, the Funny Money, that where we met.
Yeah. But so we went out for, I think it was a second date, if you want to call it that.
It was my audition / our date.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a line read. So when I cast people, I have to take you out somewhere. We sit down. I always make sure it's out in public, because if you're too embarrassed to read lines out in public, then you're definitely not going to be any good on camera. That's like my rule of thumb. And I've had plenty of actors that I've not cast because of that.
There's a movie about that. Well, I mean, a movie that can that. Really?
Oh yeah, the room, the disaster artist.
Oh,
he was just yelling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Greg, we will cast into the fire.
God, I love that movie.
Yeah, that was such a great movie. But to me, like, I've actually taken people out that claim to be actors, right? But we're in a coffee shop. I'm like, all right, here's your lines. I'm gonna read the other guy. All right, go. Oh man, we got to get undercover. And they just stare at me like, what the fuck are you doing? And they look around. I'm like, what's going on? Why aren't you reading your lines? And then they'll read the lines like, oh, yeah, we should definitely get undercover. I'm like, well, I can't hear you.
Oh, shit.
Whisper and make it into a, you know, and then they're like, dude, I'm not going to do this out in public. And I'm like, okay, I can't use you. Straight up can't use you. Why can't we just go to your place?
Because
And
we
like,
do a
"No,
lot
dude."
of guerrilla shooting, so you're gonna need to read your lines in public.
Look, man, if we just block traffic randomly and I've got 10 seconds to get a line in, you better jump out in your undies and give that line, baby, because we're going.
Yeah. Fire.
We don't have a permit. No.
Permits.
Permits.
So I'm gonna give y'all a secret that I developed. This goes out for indie directors that are curious.
Thank you.
The best thing you can do is befriend a police officer.
Okay.
So I've got a couple of police officer friends, and I make that joke because I was friends with them before I started making movies. But I immediately hit them up, and I'm like, for example, we had a scene where we're using a gun in an alleyway in the hood. So you can just imagine how bad that can go. So I call my officer friend. I'm like, hey, are you working today? No. Hey, you want to make $150? Yeah. What do you want me to do? Just show up in your uniform on set. Hang out for a couple hours. Check the weapons. Okay.
Yeah.
And he just stood there, and no one questioned shit because there was a cop there.
And when we did,
Great idea, but you might could have got him for less with a Shipley's gift card.
A Shipley's gift card? Nice. I
When
see what
we-
you did there.
went to that one location,
I
and
think he's
there
a
was,
Krispy Kreme guy.
we shot at a tourist destination, okay, and it's like a big fight scene. This is for the next movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's a tourist destination. There's a restaurant right there, and we're about to be shooting guns off.
Hang on. This is when I don't want to give away what it is.
Exactly.
Okay?
I'm not going to tell you where it is.
When we're done with the show, I'll tell you off air. But let's just say it's a landmark.
Yeah.
Okay, like a landmark.
So we had to go in the restaurant, and we're like, hey, we already talked to the cops, so it's cool, but we're going to be shooting guns out here. And we got blanks. Everything's cool.
And by the way,
Please don't call the cops. They're already here
we
with
were
us.
just shooting guns like handguns. We had like fully auto.
Yeah, fully
blank
auto.
guns,
Yeah, it was
like
insane.
spray and pray guns, and like 5 people are shooting at each other at once.
This was one of the times that Thomas made someone bleed
Oh yeah.
in real, like for real, with his elbow
Yeah.
to the face. And the guy that he got in the face was like, Swebby, love Swebby. He was
Yeah.
like, did you get it on film? Like, did you get it on
Yeah.
camera? He was fine. I mean, he's a vet. He's like, he doesn't care.
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah,
He's
so-
like, did
so-
you get it?
Thomas takes Swebby's character down, and he rolls over on top of him, and he's supposed to elbow him. It's supposed to be fake. Well, he accidentally really elbowed him, and he cut him over his eye like an MMA fighter, right? And so he's bleeding down his eye and shit. Dude, he was bleeding a lot. And I call cut, and we all run in because we're concerned. And Swebby goes, "Did you get it on film?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Do you want us to clean you up and stuff, or call? Do we need to take you to the doctor?" He's, "No, man, I'm
No.
still bleeding. Let's keep shooting." And so we just went right to the next take, and it's all real blood from there on. Yeah.
Fucking perfect.
Give him a twofer.
See, that's where Tony got his credit because he's the only actor that's worked with Thomas that managed to hurt Thomas.
Oh yeah.
He
Nut
wrapped
check.
him.
Well, that
He
wasn't
racked
even
him
on.
so hard.
That wasn't even on set. That
That was
was
just
when they were
practice.
practicing their fight
But he
scene.
cut his hand on set too while they were doing the katana fight because he ran his blade the wrong way down his blade and he caught him on his hands.
Go Tony.
Oh man. Thomas was like, "Tony, what the fuck?" And Tony, I swear to God, Tony was like, "Huh." He walks over. He didn't say anything to Thomas. He just walks over to me and goes, "I guess I got him twice. I guess it's 2-0 Tony." And I was like, "Tony, you son of a bitch. That's hilarious."
That's 2-0 Tony.
You better be careful, Tony. Thomas don't play, man. Thomas almost strangled Brandon.
Yeah,
out
he
during this
literally
movie.
choked him out during a scene.
There's a-
Like, you
There's
don't
a
have to do
take
that, bro.
in this film where, and this is a long take. I mean, we're talking about it's a good minute and a half of one camera angle, and Thomas is on top of him with his arm around him in a legitimate chokehold, and Brandon's face starts turning red immediately, and I'm worried. I'm behind the camera, and I can tell when someone's legitimately choking, and Thomas is just spitting through his lines, and Brandon's like,
And this is before the back surgery.
Yeah. And then about 45 seconds in, you could see Brandon start clutching at
He's
his
like
arm.
tapping out. He's like, bro.
Yeah. Right when he's delivering his last line, Brandon's like tapping him on the arm. I left it in the film too. Yeah. He was like, "Oh, God, come on." And so he rolls over. And I caught it on Oh man, such a great
Seems
side.
a lot of our actors are veterans. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Yeah.
there's like 3 off the top of my head.
Good. They should know CPR.
He's also doubling as a medic.
That's another thing you have to do as an indie production. Like all of us have more than one job.
Yeah, we do.
So I'm the set electrician, or what they would call the gaffer. So if we need any electrical run, that's my job because that's what I did. I was a journeyman. So Brandon is actually in the medical field, so he's our medic on set. If anybody gets hurt, he looks after them. You know, and it goes on downhill. Like Amanda does like 7 roles. Like she's scripty, so she makes sure the actors are reading their lines.
That's just correctly. I'm a PA. Let's just call me a PA because that kind of takes over everything. The makeup artist, and I'm the makeup artist. I'm the makeup artist, and I'm
your
a PA.
Continuity. That's not PA job.
Well, it is in our world.
PA is supposed to give me coffee that I don't drink.
PA is usually the one like to help building up the set or putting stuff around, like that kind of.
Which I do.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of your best tips yet. I am set designer, actor.
Hey.
Yeah. And man, dude, if you're trying to get into this business, even as just as quote unquote, find some project. There'll be plenty of student projects or unpaid gigs or whatever, and go do something other than act. So you really.
And you're not talking about being extra. You're talking about actually do something.
Why things are done the way it's kind of just like working any
right.
You learn different departments.
Yeah,
you see the whole project, and then you
right.
understand why people do what they're doing.
Like imagine being an actor, and you can walk up to the audio guy and be like, "I know you need to get my lav mic on, so I've already moved my lapel away. Here's a spot you can put it that I know is not going to mess with." You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And if your crew already gets that from you, if any time you're saving on set, so valuable.
I still remember my first set as a makeup artist in California. It was a music video, and I was the second. My friend was the actual makeup artist. I was just doing powder and mascara and touch-ups and stuff. And yeah, I was just there for like 10 hours, you know?
Standing around, right? Like,
yeah, I was like, I could be doing other stuff.
But if you don't know what to do,
yeah, it was my first
and
set.
it gets a little political depending on who you're working with. Like some people are like, don't come over here and grab my
are you kidding me? The AD on that set tried to ask me out later, and I said no, and he was like, "You're never working in this town again." I was like, "Dude, what do you mean?
No.
What do you mean?"
That guy.
Yeah, he had crater face.
What does that mean? Oh no.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
I'm sorry, dude.
I feel like we're talking way too much, man. Like,
yeah, I know, right? Like that's fine. It's fine.
No,
you go ahead and make your pee by yelling at me.
Yeah, we've heard each other quite a few times. This is lovely hearing y'all.
We are talkers.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, this is the first time the 3 of us have got to really sit down and talk about what we do, because this has been such a fight for this movie, and we're already working on other movies.
This is kind of like therapy.
You know,
this is our therapy. Thanks.
We're having a little therapy session here, like, you know.
All the time, it's kind of fun just to like step out and.
Oh, dude, that's why I have had the hardest time since the premiere just getting back to work. Like I'm so tired of.
Man, since we stopped
I've been playing video games and sleep.
Since we stopped doing
things I'm used to having time for. Crazy things
like sleeping, it's insane. No, since we stopped doing 4, I've had a hard time getting back to work.
Yeah, I know. I miss the podcast. Would you guys, if when we start our podcast back up, would you guys come and be a guest on our podcast?
Oh,
absolutely.
Yay!
Guerrilla therapy. I love it.
Hiatus for like a year and a half. It's very.
Well, listen,
pull out and run. Is that what you're going to call it, or something different? Because pull out and run is one of the all-time. Yeah, all-time best.
8 years of that, man.
Name.
Shout out to Drowning Pool for helping us with that too. Like, not the name, but for picking us up early when we were just starting out and giving us a good platform to do our show out of the boiler room that they were running in Deep Ellum there.
Right.
Dude, Pull Out and Run did so much great stuff that people don't even realize. Like, we interviewed Dallas Cowboys. You know, we interviewed the drummer from Death Clock and Fear Factory. Like, we have tons of interviews and stuff that we did that just crushed it. We got to meet so many people, and One of my co-hosts I trained went on to the Russ Martin show.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, we did a lot
Are
of
the Pull Out and Run episodes on YouTube, or where can we hear them?
Oh, they're probably still on Spotify.
Yeah,
and
they're on
stuff.
Spotify. I know we have 400
There's a whole list.
episodes.
Does anybody remember the list?
Oh God, no.
We had
I'm
a
sure
whole-
we
we had a
still
whole
have
graphic,
the picture.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember
Yeah,
every
that we
show,
had
our
to
sign-off?
read.
You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Deezer,
We
Stitcher,
still have the
Podcast Addict,
picture
Podchaser.
somewhere.
I know.
Hey.
Yeah.
Ricky,
Um,
there's an infamous episode of Pull Out and Run with Dank, and Hank was completely drunk out of his mind and really pissed off his wife. And let's just say the C word was thrown out a lot.
Judiciously.
Was it a Friday?
Judiciously.
Because we could only curse on Fridays.
Well, so we did so the show's been around for like 9 years now.
Right.
So the original episodes are not out anymore. But I have a copy of all of them. So I'm gonna have to see if I can find Hank's episode because that would be hilarious.
But yeah, we have like 400 episodes, and I know this because I baked a cake.
Yeah,
For our
we've
400th
So
episode.
we kind of restarted
Because I'm also a baker.
Right.
On top
The
of
many
everything
hats-
else.
the many hats you wear. We restarted the show in a way more professional production about 2 years ago. So we did about 400 episodes since. But I have 7 years of episodes from before, including when we were doing them out of the boiler room. We used to do a show called Free the Music Wednesday, and that was our show. Hey, look at that. Yeah, it's
I
up
don't know if
somewhere.
you can see the
Probably
screen,
YouTube
but there's
somewhere.
actually a YouTube channel. I just came across it this morning.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, we were putting
Look
You
how
have
many
YouTube?
videos are over here.
Yeah, that's right. We did start doing YouTube.
Wow. See, I'm so sleep deprived. I don't even remember uploading these, and I would be the only one to do that.
Yeah.
I remember I had to get in. It was like,
Yeah, if you click on one, you'll see that we actually shot. We were shooting them in here.
Yeah.
This is our podcast room that we're using for Pull Out and Run at the end. At first,
This
we were
was
I was
doing
just
green
happy-
screen.
I was happy when we-
12/2/22.
That's probably the last
Yeah.
one we did. Yeah. Yeah.
I
This
was
one's
just happy
dated
when we stopped doing green
12/2/23.
screen.
honestly, I think we had like
So
See
probably
what
the
we
same.
got. Maybe
Maybe inappropriate.
Ooh.
Okay.
What else?
Time
Oh yeah, that was our last one.
This is
for
our
the
Anniversary
show
episode.
from men and
I was wearing
women
that shirt
who all
earlier
identify as assholes. Major assholes. If it's good, they make it bad. And if it's bad, they make it even worse. Holy shit, how's that possible?
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah. Oh no. I was already saying yeah because I thought you were gonna be like that was so long ago. Thanks, hun. Don't y'all dare clip that. She'll use it against me forever.
No, I almost wore that shirt for this podcast, but I didn't feel comfortable, so I put on a t-shirt instead. That's weird. That's very weird. But I did enjoy when we stopped doing the green screen because then I could wear whatever I wanted. Because
Yeah. Oh man.
I remember the very first time I came over to their house
Let me see if I can find a picture of the green screen.
and he was like, "Come do the podcast with us. Don't wear green." I was like,
Oh,
"Okay."
Listen, we found out the hard way that not only can you not wear green, but you can't use like see-through cups. Certain lighting,
See-through
would like
cups.
reflect the green screen everywhere. Like, oh, dude,
It was a pain in everyone's ass.
I would purposely
it looked great, but man,
Well, you were kind enough to interview my band, Mr. Freak and the Freak Show Band, at
Hey.
O'Reilly's, and it was
I
right at
miss
the
O'Reilly's.
Aw.
man. It was right at the beginning of us starting to really hate each other. So there's a lot of C words in that one also.
We did. At one point, we started trying to do live
Nice.
shows at venues again. We did it like twice times,
Yeah.
so we're like, this is a lot of work. This is
Well,
very
it's
difficult.
inspirational for sure. I can't say you're my only inspiration, but Pull Out and Run is fucking classic as far as I'm concerned, and certainly inspired my desire to do podcasts as well.
Yeah,
That's awesome, man.
I'm pretty sure y'all were the first local podcast that I ever found out about.
I would say, do you know how many times I've heard him say, I was the first one doing podcasts in Dallas? Like, I
Sure.
started it here. And I was like, okay.
Well, this goes back to the start of this particular podcast when I was telling y'all why I started making movies. I was the first guy, and I fucking swear to God on this, and you can ask around DFW. I still get talked about on this today. I was the first guy to live stream bands on the internet. and where you could actually get good sound and understand what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
And like, dude, we were doing that out of O'Reilly's. Like, bring up O'Reilly's, dude. Shout out Ted and Karina, man. I was heartbroken that they fucking didn't renew their lease.
Yeah.
The class for O'Reilly's and all their dedication to the local scene, not their demise.
Dude, they have done
Didn't we
more
film there?
for. Oh man, yeah, we've
Like in their alley and stuff.
We used to do everything. Like, dude,
I think I peed behind that bar.
Oh man, you've never been to O'Reilly's if you haven't.
Yeah.
Or smoked weed.
Like,
as Tex would
really,
say.
like, shielded me, and I went and peed by the cars
Oh,
because
that's about right.
Robin didn't get us our shiwis. So what was I supposed to do?
I've got a here we go. I got a screen grab. I'm gonna send you guys.
Aw.
This is back when we used to do a green screen. I'm getting off topic again. We used to do a green screen for Pull Out and Run, but it was just so much work. But we had like the Omni Hotel. Like I went out and filmed the Omni Hotel one night for an hour so that we could have a screen behind us.
We had to do that twice because it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were having that vampire short we did.
But basically, like, the coolest thing to me is not if I'm out and about and someone's like, oh, I've seen your movie or I remember your band, because I get both of those. But the coolest thing to me is when they're like, man, I miss your podcast. Or do you still have my band's video on your podcast? Because we got so many doors open because of that. Like, that's where I'm like, all right, bet. That's what I was doing it for to begin with. Like, I was trying to give something back to the local scene because, not to like toot my own horn, but it was just a mentality of if we all do what we're good at that helps, then we can eventually lift each other all up and people will want to keep the scene going. Because now I look at Deep Ellum, I'm fucking disgusted. Deep Ellum sucks now.
Well, here's the
That's not
lifting
what me and,
everyone up.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's not what me and my generation fought for, dude. We played in Deep Ellum clubs all the fucking time. Like,
You're a
Deep Ellum used to have a
commendable
major rock
motherfucker,
scene,
man.
dude.
Shred, you're a commendable
Yeah.
motherfucker, man. I really appreciate you.
I just try to balance out all my evil with a few good deeds here and there.
Yeah, but the love of music prevails.
Yeah, Jesus loves you.
Even to this day, I still have a
What,
job in
Beard?
music somehow.
Say Pull Out Run like even like inspired me to like start doing the podcast. Well, I was forced to kind of ish.
Oh yeah, hold up. Let's talk about your podcast. He's got one too, man.
Oh yeah.
And they just did this short. So you got to plug your short channel or what? I don't know what you're releasing those.
It's WTF, bro.
They did a hilarious short with like a Martian or an alien. It's so funny. I watched it twice, and I'm not one to heap praise. Believe me.
He's we're trying to do he's trying to do a film festival for that. I just
I thought it was fucking funny, dude.
My coworker is really cool dude, Dean. Yeah, if you go to WTF Bro, we have a YouTube channel, and a Facebook page, probably some other stuff. But yeah, when we redid the pour, I started looking into different interfaces and whatnot to make it more economical, I guess you'd say. Easier to just make and produce and do, and to make it travel, because that's when we were thinking about doing it back in bars and whatnot, and using all that stuff. So
We still might. We're it's a new year and now we have time. Like we had to stop doing pour last year because we were trying to finish this cursed ass.
We were so
film.
busy
yeah.
all
Like,
the
we were
time.
slammed. Now we're a little
Like
more
I would get to
focused
work
on
on
what we're
Monday
doing,
and they'd be like, "What'd you do all weekend?" And I'd be like, "Worked."
worked all the time.
Like, no, I worked. Yeah.
Like 7 days a week.
Yeah. We had the movie this day. We had the podcast this day. We had this day. Like just no rest whatsoever.
Even during the weekdays too. It's
See
like,
where we're headed,
now I'm
David
trying to-
Jarvis?
We lasted a good 2 years straight of just killing ourselves.
Yeah, but we were unfocused.
But then you
There's-
saw that video where I was
yeah.
like, I looked so fat. So
Oh,
now I'm
God,
trying to
this
focus
again.
more on my health and getting back in the gym and stuff. So I cannot be killing myself.
I am the poster child for being way too overweight right now.
All right,
Listen,
so
James
what's your
from, 10 years
advice?
ago would kick my ass.
Being the experienced podcaster, what's your advice to a young up-and-coming podcast like Blow Your Brains Out? What do we need to do? Do we need to get on...
Oh
I don't
gosh,
even-
I actually do have a lot of advice. Wow, I didn't expect that. I
Yes,
should have
sir, I don't
expected that
even-
question.
I mean,
Great.
have fun with it. If you're not having fun with it.
Definitely do it with people that you enjoy.
I think they're referring more to a business aspect.
I understand that,
I mean,
but
You're
it
both
is
correct,
also
though.
important.
You're both very correct.
and yeah, it's important. I'm learning this now doing my stream.
You didn't even point it.
My Twitch thing. I was
Right
talking
here?
to you earlier. That editing some of the stuff that I do, it's hard for me to go back to what I've done and try to edit that. Because I'm like, man, this isn't really good or this feels forced. But like, there's some videos that I'm like, this is it. Because I'm even laughing while I'm editing. And I'm like, even it makes you want to do it. I feel like those are the more, if you have more fun with it, like those are the better videos in my.
I mean, if you enjoy it more, then your audience is probably going to enjoy it more.
That's a good start. Yeah, absolutely. I can
Well,
go
we
through
definitely enjoy it, but what
Smog.
we're after also is helping everyone as much as we can in the process.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
gonna say, definitely a lot of collaborations are probably good because that expands your audience.
Correct.
You know, so if you're doing crossovers with other podcasts, then whoever's listening to this other podcast suddenly
Correct.
knows about you. So it's going to expand your audience.
Yeah, like if you guys come on Pull Out and Run and you've had us on your podcast, we can take both audiences and you'll
Man,
gain
I have
some
a friend that
following
lives
of
in
different people like
Australia
both, you know
now
what I mean?
because we were doing
yeah,
Pull Out and
Natalie.
Run. I love Natalie.
She's
She
great.
sent me earrings and she did a drawing.
Yeah, she sent us shirts too.
She did a drawing of all of us. Like,
So we all have food shirts thanks to Natalie in New Zealand.
what am I?
Kick ass.
I don't
well,
think
yeah.
I have. Do I have one?
She sent you the.
I think I was broccoli, so I couldn't
think
wear
broccoli.
it because we were doing green screen at the time.
And she sent me a shirt of sausages.
Yeah, that's
Like,
right.
I kid you not. It's a
Where
shirt
is my broccoli
with
shirt?
sausages all over, like cooked sausages.
I haven't
That's
thought about that
hilarious.
shirt in a while. Now I'm wondering where it is.
Next time I go grocery shopping, I'm busting out the sausage shirt. Hilarious.
Well,
but
I
to your
relate to
question, I
what
do
you're
have a
talking. I relate to what you're talking about because we've collaborated with Johnny TV, who's out of LA, and that's
Yeah.
definitely
Ooh.
expanded our viewership.
Uh-huh.
Some. And while we're on it,
so-
I'm just as big on collaborating with people in DFW. Hey, Beard, do you know the exact YouTube address so I can pull up your YouTube channel?
Exactly.
Because I typed in
Hey, do you have your phone, bro?
I typed in WTF bro and all kinds of shit came up.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it's not a.
That's because YouTube is as bad as Google now, and you can't ever find what you're looking for anymore. It's just a bunch of sponsored bullshit.
The lady don't lie.
But if you know the exact address, I can go right to it.
Yeah, I could pull it up and send it.
Okay,
I do have a lot of advice for you guys about especially getting more following and engagement. And since you guys care about helping everybody, I was going to say talk to me off the air about it, but if you want, I'll tell anybody on air who's running a podcast or trying to or wants to start one. There's a lot of little simple things that I overlooked myself that are especially relevant in today's day and age. Now, I fucking hate TikTok. I cannot tell y'all how much I hate TikTok. And I had a gig last year working for a TikTok influencer where I was editing his videos for my day job, right?
Right.
And I know, honey. I regret doing that. I don't care how much money he threw at me. TikTok is a valuable resource, but it leads into this. The reality is nowadays you can't put out a full 2-hour episode and get people's attention because people's attention spans are really, really short. So what you do is you record your 2-hour podcast all well and good. Oh, here, I'll send it to them.
Yeah. Send it to the messenger.
Got it. That's all well and good, but what you need to do is go through your podcast or whatever and find a 2-minute clip. Clip that 2 minutes, put all your like, share, subscribe shit on a graphic at the end of that 2 minutes and throw it on TikTok and hashtag the fuck out of it. Whatever y'all are talking about. We're talking about cats today. So hashtag cat, hashtag TikTok cats.
We literally had to shorten the trailer
cat or whatever,
because the first trailer was so long that people for the movie that we're been talking about, it was so long that people weren't watching the whole trailer.
Right.
So the next one we sent out had to be shorter so that people would actually watch the whole thing because we had the attention span of toddlers now.
Yeah, and look at your insights. Your insights will tell you when people stop watching, and you'll know what's not working by actually paying attention to that. Also, you can spend way less money on targeted ads than you would think if you target them properly. For example, when I put out the first trailer for the Talent Process Retribution, if you guys have seen the first trailer, I know you've seen the second one but have you all seen the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've seen both.
there's two. So the first one, the first thing you see is a dude with an AR-15 walk in. Well, according to Insights, guess what? New York and Cali tuned out right away. Why? Because they fucking hate guns. They especially hate ARs. So why in the fuck would I put an FB targeted ad? Like if I'm going to spend $10 on an ad for my show or my trailer, I'm not targeting Cali and New York. Eliminate them completely. It's a waste of your fucking money. You see what I'm saying? So instead, target like pro-gun states because you know that's the first thing they see. And that relates to any subject. So whatever your podcast is about or doing, take what that's about and target the state and target the population and the age range that's actually interested in that shit. I'm not going to send the Retribution trailer to a bunch of 18-year-old girls because they're not going to give a shit. And it's a complete waste of my money. What I will do is target like 30-year-old males.
And that's where
I'll
the
start in certain
insights
states.
really hurt.
Exactly. And so you get these insights in and you start realizing. Now, here's the crazy thing about this. Like my personal page is almost like a professional page, quote unquote. This is my second. I'm on my second Facebook, or maybe third now. My first one, they doxed me. They put my real name out and gave me a stupid blue check mark when my first movie came out. And I wasn't for that. I was already getting stalked as
The stalker found him.
So I shut my page down.
He had shaken the stalker, and then Facebook changed it to his real name.
Yeah.
And he found him again, found his address,
and everything.
Left a bottle of whiskey and a thing of cigars on his.
Which I'm like, this is probably poison, so I ain't fucking.
So CJ tried it, and he didn't die.
He
so
did.
you
Then
know,
we all drank
it was fine. But yeah, he left cigars and whiskey on his freaking porch because he found his address because Facebook put his real name on his page.
But now my page still tells me insights. I have a following of 80% women, which is shocking to me because I post nothing but clown shit on men and women, but mostly on women because they're the opposite of what I am, right? And I post nothing but memes and bullshit and like dude bro stuff. So why the fuck are women following me? That makes no
I bet
sense.
Mine's probably all dudes following me.
Probably.
And I don't even post my ass.
But see, you got to take these insights and figure out what's actually getting you traction. So for your show, and YouTube has it too, it's called analytics on YouTube, I believe, or as I like to call it, analytics. So basically, look at your demographics and start doing your targeted ads there. And dude, $5 on Facebook can get you like 10,000 views if you target it properly.
Okay, that's good advice because I never would have thought that.
Yeah, like I was telling you, man, we just cut New York, Cali. We basically cut all the really, really far left gun hating states out of our advertising for the first trailer, and our views doubled on half the money. See what I mean? Because now we're just targeting people that aren't going to be turned off immediately by some dude walking into frame with an AR-15.
Well, so I have a friend. She's kind of famous on Instagram. Her name's Hala. She's awesome. And she had trouble getting sponsors because she didn't have enough female followers. Because and she's a big girl. Okay. She's very plus size and she's, like I said, she's beautiful. You know her. You've met her.
Yeah, I know Hala.
But yeah, she couldn't get sponsorships because all her followers were dudes, and she's trying to sell like lingerie to women. So now, she needed more female followers.
Now here's
try Manscaped, honey.
The trick is about you're trying to get these people's attention so they come watch your full show.
Yeah,
because you want them to watch your 2-hour show.
Like while they're cleaning 2 hours the kitchen of them watching, or something, they can just throw on your podcast.
You have to, but no one's going to jump into a podcast and get through the intros of I'm so and so and so and so all that crap. They're not going to get through that. They're just going to change the channel. Like this, that's the new generation. And those are the people that are obsessively glued to their phones. So the only way to get to them is find a funny, like short clip, post it as a reel on Facebook, post it as a reel on YouTube, because people just scroll through reels and they'll watch 30 seconds of something. But if they like you guys and they like what you're doing, they'll find you. They'll go find your channel. They'll start watching your stuff. They'll watch your long form content because they like your short form content. So you got to flood the market with your short form content. Go clip out some sound bites from your show that you think are funny or you think are really great representations of you, and then appropriately hashtag them so they're easy to find.
I hate hashtags. That's why I'm not a freaking.
Another thing you can do is
famous internet person.
Plan, right?
That's why you're not sponsored. I hate hashtags.
Yeah, I can't.
Hashtag I hate hashtags.
I can't, like, I know you can just get on Google and search popular hashtags and it'll like tell you what to do, but it's just, I hate it. It's so annoying.
Now, another thing you can do is before you go on air to do your show, check what is trending everywhere and make that a topic somewhere in your show. Clip it that night, hashtag it, put it out as a reel, because everyone's going through that content. For example, let's say that Ben Affleck leaks his dick pic and fucking hashtag Ben Affleck's dick, right? Well, guess what? If you on your show address Ben Affleck's dick for a couple of minutes and clip it and reel it and hashtag it, now everyone that's on Ben Affleck's dick, see what I did there? You can see it. And if they enjoy,
her name is Jennifer Lopez. Okay,
Hang on.
taco flavored kisses. And so what's going to happen is these people are going to see it more prominently. It'll show up in their feed. The algorithm's going to shove you harder. And that means that people will be exposed to you. And then you can expose yourself to them. Hey,
I love it.
And you know, like, don't even put it in the first part of the show. Like, bury it so they have to watch
there you
the
go.
whole show to get to that part that
But
they
clip
wanted to
it
see.
And put that
It's
piece
like
out.
clickbait.
Yeah. It's basically
It's
like
literally
clickbait, but for
clickbait.
your show.
Where they put a headline that you're like, oh, that can't be right. So you click on it and it wasn't right. But they got you to click on it because they wrote it in some insane way that now you want to read what the article
Blow your
is.
brains out talks about the people that want to blow Ben Affleck. And it's like, why would they put that as a title? But now I'm clicking on it.
Yeah.
Because what the fuck, you know?
Yeah,
Now I gotta know.
I gotta know.
Yeah, exactly. And so you'll eventually get more followers that way. Combine that with a little advertising cash, like $5, $10 here, appropriately targeted, and you'll get more bang for your buck than you can imagine. So it's all about how focused you are on, you see what I'm saying, on growing your thing or whatever. Because everybody just thinks if I do a great show, I'm going to be successful. And there's lots of
doesn't
great
always
podcasts
grow
that
by
aren't successful.
itself.
No.
See, you're already on board.
It
Guys,
doesn't always grow by itself. Sometimes it needs a little help. $5 or $10
You
here
have
or
to
there.
work a lot harder than you think you do.
Hey.
Like those famous influencers that
Yeah.
make millions of dollars don't just.
Well, honey, not only do they have to work a lot harder, but they got to expand who they're reaching.
I forgot my point now. Thank you.
Well,
So
wow.
little things
Thank
like
you.
that
Yeah.
will kind of start to add up. I guarantee you. Like, try it for a second and see what's up.
All right, I will.
Well, thank you very much.
Man. I almost forgot the most important piece of advice. And everyone hates it when I say this. Scott yells at me about this all the time, honey. You have no idea.
I can't imagine Scott yelling. That's not true.
There
I've
is
seen Scott
no
yell.
such thing as bad reaction on the internet. It's all generative. It all helps
That's
your
what
algorithm.
they used to say. There's no
Don't-
such thing as bad press, right?
Right. Don't engage. half of my views from my page come from people that don't even follow me.
He's
Half
such a
or
troll. Do
more.
you know how many people I've had in my inbox talk crap? It's only been like 2, but still.
Talking too
They
fast.
threaten him more often than they actually
I know
talk
everybody
to
wants to
me.
kick my ass.
No, they're always like, I'm going to hit up your girl and tell her that you're this terrible person.
I'm like, she
and
already
he's
knows.
like, yeah, she knows. So
already
they never
knows.
message me. It's literally happened like twice. And then after I blocked one of them because I didn't have time for that because I have life, they went after my friend who was in my profile picture.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And she went, you know what? I got time for this. And she
She's like,
ripped them apart.
She likes to fight. So
yeah.
she was like, let's fucking rage. But what I'm saying is, like, when people start posting negative shit on your page, don't respond. Don't fall for the fucking trap. Because once you start responding, you make yourself look bad. And believe me, people that come to your page and see the negative comments, it doesn't matter if they leave one or if they're just there watching the drama. That's all views for you. And it pushes your show higher up in the algorithm. Because now the algorithm's saying, wow, this show gets engagement. It doesn't matter if it's bad or not. Like, there's plenty of comments on our trailer like, this is the worst fucking looking movie I've ever seen in my life. There's no one who's going to want to watch this shit. Now, if I go in there and I'm like, where's your movie, bitch? I look like a clown.
Yeah.
And people are going to down me, not the commenter. See what
It
I'm
is
saying?
funny how
But
fake.
if I leave it there, it just adds to the engagement. So if 100 motherfuckers come on and they're like, Blow Your Brains Out is the dumbest and worst podcast I've ever seen in my fucking life, you should pat yourselves on the back.
You're
You're
like,
doing
hell
something
yeah,
right.
you've seen it though,
Yeah,
right?
And now, yeah, but you
you've
have seen it. And you're going to
We're
start
doing
showing
better
up.
than
You
we
won't,
thought
you
we
won't know
were.
this. Yeah.
That is one thing about
You won't know this, but you'll start showing up in people's feeds more because you're getting talked about. So somebody doing a quote unquote great podcast who has like 3 loyal viewers, but no one talks shit on their page, is getting no engagement because they're not getting pushed by the algorithm.
Controversy.
That's the
That
reality.
was one thing about Pull Out and Run when I was doing it with them, is that I don't want to say it was fake, but there were certain talking points where I would purposefully pick the other side just so it would be an interesting conversation. Like I might have 100% agreed with him,
right?
But I was going to sit here and fight him.
Yep.
Because that's what people want to listen to.
Yeah. Devil's advocate.
And Hannity and Combs right there.
Yeah.
Exactly. It helps to have like at odds hosts where you pick certain things where you're like, all right, I'm gonna disagree with you, even though personally I agree with you, but like I've had to argue for pro-life, even though I'm not pro-life. Like I'm pro-choice, but I still take the side of you can't kill your babies just because it causes controversy and it gets people to watch. Because if we both sat here and we're like,
said, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right too. Okay, the end.
There's our 30-second clip, and
Bye,
that's not going anywhere. Yeah. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, Jesus. Like, that's the end of the show. You know what I mean? Like,
that's radio hosting 101.
Yeah.
Every pre-show to every radio show ever involved. Which side are you going to take?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we actually have this card game, or it's like, what is it?
Hot
Takes.
That's great.
Which is a great example of that, because it gives you a topic and you're on teams, and one team has to fight for it and the other one has to fight against it, no matter what the topic is. So it's actually great practice if y'all want to like get that game and just like play it. It's like super fun. Because I don't like to argue, but I like it in a game format because you know it's fake, you know?
Yeah.
Good in this.
I was pretty good at debate though.
Now to move it on, because I want y'all to get as much advice as I can possibly give before I pass out, because apparently we're just going to drink this bottle of whatever the fuck we're drinking.
Very nice.
One thing you're doing well, because y'all are a music podcast from what I understand, from what I've heard, right? Kind of
generally
a little more musical based.
Well, we aren't just now branching out. The idea has always been to be an entertainment podcast, but we just happen to know every band in town.
Nice.
Right. So it's a good way to start.
Yeah, it is.
But see, now you're bringing on filmmakers. So you're branching out. Another sect of people that is really desperate for attention is independent comedians. So go and find these indie comedians.
They're funny.
Yeah, they'll be good guests already because
they're
supposed to be funny. So join Facebook groups and stuff for like these indie people that do this stuff and meet them and invite them onto your show. And they'll promote the fuck out of it because they need the exposure. You see what I'm saying? And you can different
I was shooting a little high with like Joe Rogan and those guys, and they just hadn't responded. So I guess I got to get that
shooting
down
high.
Too.
I'm texting Joe right now. I'm half ignoring you guys.
There you go.
Casey Jones.
But reach out that way. And then if you need help financially and you start getting a following, you can go to bars and pitch your show if you can do it mobile. Like we can do our show mobile. So one of the things we used to do, like I had to deal with Drowning Pool.
We got a specific board so that we could start doing it live again.
We used to go do our show live. And
now it's our main board because it was awesome. But
and we would take our lumps with the bar. So I would offer to the bar, hey, we're going to show up and do our show. We're going to bring you people. You're going to give us 10% of your bar sales tonight. And we would bring fucking people and they'd be more than happy to pay it, especially on an off night, like a Monday or Tuesday when they're already going to struggle to bring people in. And so if they don't do well, they'll just tell you not to fucking come back.
Yeah.
But if they do well, they'll be like, damn, all right, can we get more of this? What's going on? And that's kind of how I got Pour going in the early days was I would go to bars and I'd be like, look, I've got a radio show and I can bring in bands to play. And the bands are getting paid, quote unquote, in their video. Because I was the only guy able to stream you and do videos. So these guys were able to showcase their band and get into places like Trees because they played our show. Meanwhile, we could fund our show because we would take a cut of the bar sales. So people would show up, drink, have a great time. We'd put on a show. We'd promote everything and everyone, and then turn around and get the bar sale money so we can buy microphones and
also the
keep
number
up with
of
all the
people,
cords and shit people destroyed because Jesus Christ.
So the number of people you will meet by
just being at
doing
the bar,
this in person. They're like, oh, what's going on here?
Oh, yeah.
That's how he met Sherman.
Yeah,
That's how he met his business partner. He walked into the bar.
By the boiler room, walked in and said, what the fuck is going on?
I like you, man. I like your vibe. We're going to be
we just started having
now.
a chat, and we've been best friends for like 9 years now.
Kick ass.
there's just all kinds of ways to go about this depending on how much effort you want to put into it and how much you really care about doing it. You know what I mean? So hopefully I've been a little helpful. At least that's kind of what I did. I've been out of the
very.
podcast
I'm signing up
bit,
my
so-
TikTok page right now.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man. If you need,
I have a TikTok and I've posted nothing. I don't understand
Um,
it. I'm too old to understand TikTok. I can't even do Instagram, dude. I'm a Facebook person.
don't forget that TikTok doesn't film in native format like what we're doing here, where it's 1920 by 1080. TikTok films in cell phone format upright.
It has
vertical.
to be upright. It has to be
So
upright.
a lot of creators like good on Amazon, and you can get you can literally get a tripod for your cell phone for like $20, and just run your tripod cell phone on your show while you're doing your show on top of whatever other camera you're using, and then you can take that and that's your TikTok clips.
Yeah, I'm fighting
Yeah.
that whole because we use Adobe Premiere. When
Yeah.
I'm learning having to learn to cut. I cut like a lot of promo videos for
Yeah.
the band, stuff for the Human Edition. So we got a TikTok, and I'm trying to like, I'll make a video, but then I have to go back and like make.
Oh, I could teach y'all so much shit.
Instagram and TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
compatible. It's so annoying.
It does link to everything too, so you can just link your social media across all kinds of platforms, and
Hey, you
Oh.
found it.
Hey, yeah, there it is.
hey, look at that.
Is that the alien?
That image.
That's one of their other videos.
Yeah, no, the alien skit that he's talking about is not going to be on here.
Aw.
He's pitching it
What?
to
Oh, he's trying to do like a short short
Oh,
festival thing.
because
That's fine. That looks pretty
Aw.
cool. Whatever's happening right now.
That's our early. Oh my! This is kind of like that was like kind of the spawn during the COVID times of us doing the podcast and these little skits.
Do y'all want to hear some crazy stuff about film
watch
festivals?
this. No, I want to watch this.
I'm gonna back it
I've
up.
already
That
heard
was
the
pretty
crazy
cool.
things.
And
Yeah,
I'll
what
make
is
it
that?
Full screen
know.
here.
This is literally during COVID when
What is
we
this?
decided to.
It's what the fuck, bro?
It's loading.
No, is this a skit?
Yeah,
This is
it's
actually- yeah. He's also like a film guy too, Dino.
Yeah, Dean's great.
Oh my god, how'd he do that?
Yes. From the production. That's Dean over there, yeah.
That's Dean?
Yeah. He's doing this for the accent. Yeah. No, I recognize all this.
This is why I want us to get the garage clear.
Look at how little Beard is.
Oh, he's just a baby. He's a baby Beard. I love Dean. Dean's awesome, bro. You should reach out and see if Dean will do your podcast because he's great. He's fun to talk to.
Oh yeah, he'll do. Speaking of, I don't know if any of you know Austin Stark. He's also a director in New York. Whatnot. He's got 2 films on, I think it's Amazon. He's actually working with like A-listers.
Nice.
They're still
Nice.
on the low end of stuff, but not like super Hollywood production. Well,
You said A-lister, so like
yeah.
that kind of implies like are you talking about more like us,
A-?
like D-listers or C?
A minus, maybe?
What are you talking about?
Sure.
Like our next film has legitimate TV actors from like Longmire and shows like that.
Yeah. But we podcast because we'll do all kinds of movie podcasts. You've been on it.
I had a lot of fun on this podcast.
We do
We had a blast.
Austin Stark and this other guy, especially if you're like if you're an atheist fan, if you will, or an atheist, not
A fan of atheism.
people,
Yeah, I'm not a fan of an ideology.
Like some of the ideals on this one podcast with Joshua Bowen. He's I want to say a former or maybe archaeologist. He's a writer.
Okay.
But I like doing that podcast because it's so diverse. Because like, of course, we have our just us, our goofy stuff and whatnot, and all that stuff. But then we also branch out to the writers. We talked to a couple of authors.
Authors.
That.
Arthur's like fucking Red Dead Redemption, or like Arthur the cartoon character,
People
or
who write books.
King Arthur. Like what Arthur are we talking about?
Arturo.
Which got me either way.
What are you currently doing with the WTF Bros podcast? Are you currently interviewing weekly or what?
We are not on a set schedule at all. This is probably like that is probably like one of the biggest, most chill kind of like.
We have to remember Tim is like involved in so much crap.
Yeah,
that he
he's
can't,
got his band. He's got us.
He's got us bothering him to play Baldur's Gate all night. Like,
oh yeah, we all got Baldur's Gate. So
know?
at least once a week, we're like, hey.
But
what
between
are you
the
doing
films
tonight?
and stuff, he has to do it like no one can do it on a schedule, and that's where the TikTok and the clips.
Also,
and
Beard
reels I'm
has a
talking about
stream,
come
a
into play.
Steam,
Like,
a Steam
stream.
Twitch.
Well, I brought
Twitch.
it up
There
so
we
that
go.
we could send
I'm gonna
people
get
your
there.
way, including ourselves. So when you're ready, just hit us up. I'm sure David
Beard's got
and
a
myself would
Twitch.
enjoy spending time together with you guys on any podcast, especially supporting local entertainment and rock bands.
I don't know if
And by the
y'all,
way, that's
your
another-
listeners are
Beard brought this
nerds,
up,
but Beard's got a Twitch of him and his whole
whole
group
streaming video games, yeah.
playing as Dragonborn bards. Like the whole party is bards,
Yeah.
which I don't know if y'all are nerds or not.
Well,
not familiar.
I wouldn't go that far.
Hey,
Don't you hit that follow button? I don't want to follow you.
thing.
I don't know if I have a Twitch account or not. But yeah, I
Well,
was saying,
blow
like,
your brains
that's
out.
another thing that
Let's
people
have a
don't think
Twitch
about.
account.
Hey,
Y'all see that there? This is the official Blow Your
Yeah.
Brains Out Twitch account. So while you're
There you
over
go.
there, send us a invite and we'll come over and follow you,
Do
dragons.
I have a Twitch account? I don't even know. I don't know what you're doing. You're touching a lot of things on my phone. I'm very uncomfortable. If you see a dick pic, that's your fault.
you don't take. You know what?
But I was gonna say, like, by the way, there's
Somebody say dick pic.
so a don't you put that on that screen. There's a lot of. Am I supposed to put this in the chat? Okay, I got you. I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
There's a market there too. Like, so indie things are more available, obviously, to us. I assume you guys are older because I know you guys more towards my age. So guess what? We have all the options on the fucking planet available to us with the understanding to match them. I hate when people say we're the last generation to drink out of a garden hose. No, bitch, we're the first one to understand the internet.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I am
we remember life before it. So guess
Beard
what?
and I are both middle millennials, so it's like right in the smack dab
Yeah, I'm a little
middle
older than
of
these
being
guys.
a millennial. So we also drank out of the water hose, and we had the internet like our whole lives.
But guess what? Like authors, you should get authors on your show. There's a lot of people that write books for Amazon. I'm actually an author. I have an open deal with Amazon to write a book if I could get the fucking time to finish it. And I would be a published author too, damn it. You know, like, but there's a lot of these people you can find very easily that would love to come on a podcast. You know what I'm saying?
David Jarvis is really good about that. He had
to start bringing people in, dude.
Yeah, I know. I've known years.
Huh? I don't know. I had a guy ask me to be on his
David
podcast.
Jarvis went complete Darth Vader and was like,
asked me to be on his podcast, and I was like, why?
Why? What do you mean, why?
I was posting a lot about our podcast at the time.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But I was a model back then, so I think he wanted me to come talk about my model stuff, and I didn't want to talk about my model stuff. I wanted to talk about our movies and stuff. Like, I didn't want to do that, so I was like, why? Why do you want me to come be on your podcast? That's weird. I don't know you.
Well,
I'm not a people person.
Yeah, so that's not very promotion of you, dear.
Well, shit, if my mic is fucking up, then I guess that's probably my cue. Thank you for coming on the show, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We really appreciate it. We're trying to promote as much as we can. Hopefully people watch the film.
Yeah.
Hey, you all want to watch the trailer before we go?
No, I don't want to watch any more of this damn movie ever again.
All right. Hey.
I don't scream a whole lot. I gotta rebrand it, if you will, but it's there, and I do stream every once in a while, especially the Bard thing. If you're into Baldur's Gate.
Now, we'll say this: I'm going to offer y'all something. The second we sign our deal to get the film out, I'm going to send you a digital copy if you'll do a show review for it.
Yeah.
That would be dope.
Absolutely.
Y'all watch it and tell us what you think.
Yeah, you can watch it on your own free time, free of charge, and just, if you'll just do like a 10-minute review on your podcast, what you think, and be honest, because you're not going to hurt our feelings. You don't have any.
Like he said, bad talking's good
you
talking.
already know.
Whatever you say is not gonna hurt
We'll probably try to have on
He
some
has
of
no
our.
feelings.
We'll at least try to have on some of our other guests. Like we've had authors on. That's what I was saying earlier. Is David Jarvis brought Dan Franklin on from England? Maybe he would come on and watch it with us. And then we're going to have Joshua Dixon on next February the 14th. He's the producer of the movie Hellhound. And maybe he would come on.
Very
and watch
appropriate
it
for
with
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it really is.
Wow.
I mean, what?
It is blow your brains out.
Right?
Make sure that you, when you do the review of our film, you have Brad on and you roast him a little.
Stop. Stop.
I swear to God, Brad's never going to want to talk to me
I know,
again.
he needs, we're just trying to thicken his skin, okay?
No, all offense.
I know. Y'all are the worst.
Why do I deal with these people?
I just wanted to be in a movie.
I gave them my soul. And they laughed and said,
You
can
know
I get
musicians
changed?
are sensitive.
What?
These musicians are sensitive.
He ain't sensitive, believe me. He would have quit long ago.
Okay. Are we about?
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having us. We really appreciate this a lot. Seriously, this is a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, it's been a
I'm
while.
gonna recommend y'all's podcast to people if that's cool, and send you some people.
If that's cool.
Yeah, thank you very much
I mean, as
for
far
your
as
time.
like guests,
Yeah, we appreciate every little bit we can get. That's how this works, man. We're not making anything off of it, but I know that David Jarvis, like myself, we're 100% committed to improving and have the most fun supporting other artists. I think that's the best way to grow your own art is by supporting other artists.
Yeah, bless y'all for
show.
picking up that torch because I haven't got to run with that torch in a minute, and I miss it, man. I miss playing too.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Well, we
Great
look
times in my
forward
life.
to burning that torch with you again soon.
Hell yeah,
David
brother.
Jarvis, you have anything on the way out? Hello, David Jarvis.
Thank you.
Oh, his mic gave up completely.
Sounds good. Okay, well, we hope that you guys have enjoyed yourself.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you guys. And we'll see you when this
Here's
film's
the
out.
YouTube channel right here. We'll do this on the way out. How's that sound?
Hell yeah.
Here's the YouTube channel. I'm going to make it full screen and play this trailer.
She has abilities.
Watch this again.
Dangerous
Yeah.
abilities. She has dangerous abilities. You'll see.
By the way, you could pause this real quick.
Sure.
We're gonna give a quick
Let
shout out.
let
to
it render
the,
a minute because I don't know what
Oh,
the
yeah.
hell is up with my internet today. Must be all the cold. I
well,
don't know.
so the actress you're seeing there sadly passed away last year just before the premiere.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
From a car accident. Her family got to come to the premiere. We had a dozen roses or whatever it was, flowers waiting for them at the front of the thing. Jeannie was an excellent and amazing person, and I'm really sad she didn't get to see how well she did. But her mother and father did, and they were so thankful
They got to see her.
that they got to see her again. Yeah, so it's like
And-
little stuff like that that really drives home how important art is and how important the people that make art with you are.
Look at
And she
those
tried
effects.
to fry Brandon.
Tried.
Tried.
This is so sad. It's buffering.
I did this. I just don't want to watch in another second of this film.
This is not a game, Aaron.
Editing it for a year.
Oh, so Bebe got pneumonia
You
after
bleat
shooting
for
the
answers
scene.
like a little
Oh,
lost
yeah.
sheep. Well, here they are.
Forgot about that.
All you need to do is wait a little while longer. Green,
Something
I
about
wanted
the
out of
cold weather.
targets. And it's a very bad thing for you indeed. You know, one day, Jacob, you're going to swallow everything.
You act if this is some sort of injustice, as opposed to a simple preventative measure.
Oh, that's James's old house on fire.
One day, you're going to.
There is no grand speech. There is no induction into a secret society. We aren't gonna save the world. You are going to help me kill.
You know why we do what we do. We're protecting the world from them.
And who's protecting the world from you? You are a drone in a system that cannot protect you. What was the point? You are learning, Aaron. You are never going to kill me.
So you think the blood isn't on your hand?
It's on the blade where it belongs.
Well, it's on you. Make no mistake about that.
It is forbidden to kill. Therefore, all murder is punished. Except for when they kill in large numbers
Go on.
and to the sound of trumpets.
We are doing what must be done.
I know. I want to talk about it.
You can thank your God when your deal with the devil is complete.
It's right where he cut Thomas's hand.
So, is there anything in you that makes you smile, or did you kill that too?
Spoiler alert, yes, he did.
So that
And
flask
so with
Jack was
that-
drinking out of.
We are doing what must be done. Thanks for doing
Yes,
it with
sir.
us, guys. Let's do it again soon.